Welcome all. Tonight is a special night here at the Rinky Dink BS Podcast, Season 2, Episode 12. Because we got inside the house, we got a stacked place. We got J.R. Rock.
In the house.
Recently had one hell of a last match with Stan Sierra in a strap match.
I would have won that match if it had been for Kyle Maggard's interference and Eric Porter's interference.
Yeah, and also A.J. Alexander.
Yes.
Like, they need all those people just to take J.R. Rock out. And then we got, in the house, we got Jennifer Lynn.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
And then we got, right here, to my right, we got a special guest. We got Cody Matthews, the Iron Man.
How's everybody doing tonight?
And we also got Luna. Say hello, Luna.
Most special guest of them all.
Yes.
And now, J.R. Rock.
Yes, sir.
You got an update for us for your book?
I do. The book is almost finished. I'm going to have 100 stories in it, and I've got extra stories. I've started a couple more to collect, so there may be a second book. But I've got some editing to do, and then the book will be done. I'll have it at the shows for sale. It's going to be in paperback. It's going to be about 550 pages, so it's a big one. It's a monster book. And then the hardback book, which is a little bit bigger size, will be about 450 pages. So I'll have it this summer for all the shows. No worries.
That's what I'm talking about, because you've been writing this for a while now, haven't you?
Yes. And I want to thank everybody that's contributed. I've got some great stories. I've got stories from Del Bass from the 70s and 80s, from when he worked for Del Mann, worked with ICW. I've got stories from when Jimmy Walls broke into the business, when Bobby Blade shit his pants in the ring. I've got all kinds of stories in this book.
You got also when Chucky Smooth shit his pants and someone gave him a spine buster?
I do not, but I might get that for the second book. I've got a story about my first match in the business when I was teaming with Ice Train. I've got several Ice Train stories.
Nice.
That's a book in itself.
Yes.
As Ice Train stories.
Yes, but Bobby Blade contributed a lot. Jimmy Walls, Terry England, tons of people. I think I had 20 people contribute to this first book. I have some stories from multiple sources. I have some stories that are so raunchy that they are from anonymous sources, so we couldn't reveal the names.
Yes,
so
right.
It's good stuff.
What's up, Crystal Brickman? She's tuning in right now. Now, everybody's been paying attention to social media here in the last couple of weeks. What about this Kentucky Wrestling Federation?
Yes, we are apparently the talk of Kentucky independent wrestling right now. As you can see, I've got the shirt on. Me, my wife Jennifer have decided since I've retired, we're going to start our own promotion called the Kentucky Wrestling Federation. We're going to be based in Frankfort. Probably try to run Thornhill. We're going to partner with a local Frankfort charity called the Wanda Joyce Robinson Foundation, which is Wandale Robinson's grandmother. So a percentage of all our proceeds of our show is going to go to that charity every time we have a show, no matter where it's at. But we're just excited to give back and have our vision of what we want wrestling in Frankfort to be like. We've already had tons of people reach out and want to be involved, want to come wrestle for us and work for us, so we're really excited.
Heck yeah. Kentucky needs places like Kentucky Wrestling Federation because Kentucky wrestling's booming.
Yes.
People got to understand that. And I think that's a good thing.
My plan is, for people who don't know who Delphia Richendaler is, she's a great female promoter in Kentucky. I'm going to try to make Jen the next Delphia Richendaler, hopefully.
Nice.
Wow.
Following those footsteps.
I got big footsteps to fill.
That's true. But I believe that you could do it.
We
Because
can.
you got this man right here helping you out.
Yes, I believe we can.
Exactly. And from what we saw, it's already got a great logo because looking at it, it pops.
Yes, I've been working hard on logos. I've got, not this logo, I've probably got 10 or 12 other logos for backups, for flyers, other T-shirts for the future.
Nice.
So we're trying to have a diverse portfolio of logos.
Heck yeah, because you already proved that you can kick ass. And now you're going to prove that you can, without a shadow of doubt, promote just as well as anyone else.
Yes, we hope so. I've helped several other people run companies back when John Strange was running New Origins Wrestling. I was a big part of that company.
Heck yeah. For those that don't know who John Strange is, he's the man that walks around with a plate for a mask.
Yeah, he finally got a gimmick. It's about that. So Jen is here. She wants to make an announcement about the Kentucky Wrestling Federation. If you want to explain to us why we have Cody here tonight.
Yes, we do have a big announcement. We have decided that the Iron Man, Cody Matthews, is going to be the commissioner of KWF Wrestling.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and I'm very, very, very happy and just super excited about this, and was so honored when they called me and asked me, and can't wait to get KWF going and showing that, we can bring wrestling to Frankfurt and continue on what some other companies had started and they did really well at. But I think being a Frankfurt local, Jen being a Frankfurt local, and we've adopted JR Rock into the Frankfurt family. He's been there for quite a few years now.
Almost 10.
Yeah, so I was just thinking. I was about to say 11, but so, man, very honored and can't wait to get KWF out there to everybody.
That's awesome, because if anyone could be a commissioner, it's this man right here. And I'm pretty sure that anyone got out of line, this man could put them inside their place.
Yeah, if I needed to. I've slowed way down on the physical, and pretty much my in-ring time has come to an end. I got to enjoy, 24 great years. Teamed with JR the last 6 of those years, and we beat up everybody that they put in front of us. So I know we still can, but both of us we're going to focus on backstage and promoting and just bringing quality wrestling and a quality company. So I just so excited.
Exactly. It sounds to me like people should be tuned in this fall, because KWF is going to be doing big things.
We hope so. We're hoping for a September or October launch. And Jen has experience in promoting shows. She helped promote the biggest show that KPW ever ran in Frankfurt. Jen,
Nice.
tell us a little bit about that.
I did. I helped get together a bunch of stuff for my boss. I was working at the Department of Medicaid Services, and my boss's daughter had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
And so we did a show called Headlocks for Holly. And with that show, I was going against the NCAA tournament in March.
Yeah.
And we ended up raising $5,000
Nice.
for Holly. And we ended up having like 600 people, I believe, at the show. So what was the commissioner's name?
Tim Gonerman.
Tim
Tim
Gonerman.
Gonerman, yeah.
He came up to me and told me that I had more people buy tickets to that show than the WWE show or WCW, whatever was in the convention center in Frankfurt, than they had. So we do have experience going forward, so we're really excited. We're trying to be very family friendly, helping with the community. We want to give back any way we can help to get our name out there and get people in for wrestling action.
That's right. That's the way to do it, though. Wrestling has always been family friendly.
It is.
It's built on having families. And heck, it's going to give more kids heroes to look up to in the long run.
Yes.
Especially here in Kentucky. Frankfort, Kentucky needed a company like KWF.
KPW, great company. Those guys did a phenomenal job. EWA was there. They did a phenomenal job. So, we're going to continue on providing Frankfurt with great wrestling. But also, this is an opportunity for us to give back to the Frankfurt community. That Headlocks for Holly show was just one of the best things have ever been a part of. She was the most adorable little girl, and to see her face and her family's faces and her friends, and to also be the last big event in the Civic Center before they took it down was an honor as well, because I've been going to events there my whole life. ICW was there. Monster Jam used to come. The Harlem Globetrotters.
George Jones.
Yeah. I mean, just so. But for us to be able to give back to the community is what we've talked about more. The more I talk to JR and Jennifer, they just, when I saw their vision and I saw what they want to do and the foundations they want to work with, and we do some big things at the Benson Marina where I work at already for the community, and we're hoping KWF can come join that family as well. So that we can't wait to get out there and really start giving back because, like I said, when they came to me and we talked and I could see their passion, and we really hope to get that out to the Frankfort community.
Absolutely.
Yep, we're going to try to do school fundraiser shows for any of the local schools in Frankfort for the sports teams.
Nice.
And not just the foundation we're partnering with. There's other local special needs places in Frankfort we could do shows with, like the Stewart Home. So there's several opportunities for us to give back to the community.
That's what it's all about, too, because you're giving back. And I feel like y'all have already made a smart decision having this man be your commissioner.
Yes, I think he'll do a wonderful job.
And I feel like y'all have also done a great job in actually getting a ring, because I saw that just a few days ago. Y'all were looking for people to help y'all get a ring. That's big things. That proves that y'all are on the ball.
Oh,
Y'all
yes.
ain't just saying that y'all are going to have the name. You're already on the ball and getting things set up and ready.
We're on the board already, just pending the bond paperwork. The insurance company said it's good to go. It's just in the mail, but with the flood and stuff going on, it's kind of running behind. So we're on the ball, getting everything in lined out so we all set. We've got 3 championship belts. We're going to have a heavyweight championship belt. We're going to have a ladies division, which is called the Bombshells
Nice. That's a
championship
good
belt.
name.
And we're going to have a tag team championship belt. So those are all in the process of being made. I designed all the titles for the company. So
Nice looking titles.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
They are
Beautiful
very
yeah, I've
belts.
seen a few pictures of some people, and everybody seems to like it.
Heck yeah. And also the women having the name Bombshells, I like that name because it works and it's unique and it sets them apart from other companies.
The main image on the ladies' title, it's going to be on a pink leather strap, and it's silver. It's got a version of Rosie the Riveter on the front of it, like a more modern version of that. So that's what we went with the Bombshells, because Rosie was in that kind of era with the war and stuff.
That's awesome because it already sounds like people should start getting excited because they're hearing about this. You got a ring, you got the championships already being made, and you got a commissioner, a ring, you got the logo. We can't wait.
Yes, and I've been getting advice from people that's got more years experience in the wrestling business with me. I've been talking with Dale Bass.
Nice.
This is his 50th year in the wrestling business. Terry England, he's at 39 or 40 years in the wrestling
That's
business.
right.
He's been giving
Terry
me
England
advice.
is our favorite promoter, by the way. I just have to put that
Yes. Terry England, you are the best promoter.
Until Jennifer and JR start
And,
promoting.
Right.
That's true. Remember.
Jimmy Walls has been giving me lots of advice. So I've been reaching out to these guys that I've made these relationships with over the years to help me out so we can keep a good wrestling tradition going.
That's what it's all about because wrestling tradition matters. And I think that that's the right way to do it. Because you're never too old to learn something new about the business.
That's correct. Speaking of learning about the business, I see Chris Blade wanted to know who the head trainer we're going to be. Right now, it may be me and Cody, but I'm a hard ass, so I'll tell you right now, Chris Blade, it's going to be tough training if you're training with me.
That's right, John Gilbert. I am the man. But that's right. If he's going to train for you, he got to know. You're not going to just pussyfoot around. You're going to be hard on him.
That's
You're going
right. I am
to
a
make him
hard ass
work
for
for
sure.
it. Tyler Humphrey said J.R. Rock is one of the best.
Thank you, sir. Hey, Luna, you have a shout-out from Nancy Roberts. She said hi. She's excited, but she has to wait till the fall, but she's ready for your wrestling company, little promoter.
That's right. And what were you saying, Cody?
By the way, we love Nancy.
Yes,
Just want to
we
throw
do.
that out there.
Nancy's the best.
Nancy, we love you. Everybody that's sitting here. I've been involved in some of JR's training, and just being his punching dummy in the training was hard. So if you all want to get trained by this guy, I'm just telling you.
Exactly. But that's the way to do it.
It
That's
is.
how you
No, it is. That's
who
that's
wants
how we
it.
were brought up.
That's the
man.
way I was brought up.
Yeah,
Exactly,
I mean,
because NWA did that.
yeah,
Like inside the old school days, they did that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like think about it. The man right there sitting to your left, his dad and them, they went through that type of training.
Hey, I tell you what, I was in the same training class as his Uncle Al. A
Woo!
lot of people don't. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was me, it was Al, it was Tommy Lotion, it was Tammy B, and Cowboy Johnny Cartwright, and Justin Idol all in the same training class.
Nice. That right there is historic because Al Steele, Chucky Smooth always says whenever he comes on here, fuck Al Steele because he's always hitting them or betraying them with a chair. But then everyone agrees Chucky Smooth's always been the most betrayable guy because he's always smiling, and every time they team up with him, they just think this guy's got a punchable face.
You weren't here earlier. We were talking about the book that's coming out. I got a story about your dad in that book when I first started training. Yes, I do.
Oh, that's gonna be sweet. You're definitely gonna have to pick up that book
that
now.
Could be sweet or scary.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right.
Yeah,
Because
your dad was a really big supporter of mine when I first started with Danny Fargo.
and he's still a big
Yes,
supporter
he
of
always
yours.
has been. Yes, he has.
Because every time that we mention J.R. Rock, Barry has shown that he loves J.R. Rock a lot.
Yes, sir. He's a great dude.
Same thing with that man right there, Donna Green. He also likes you.
I like Donnie a lot. We've had some good matches. He's a good dude.
Very good dude.
And
Bear and Al love me too because they love to beat me up.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
that's
love you.
crazy.
I think
Yeah.
everybody loved to be.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah.
I'm sad to say I never got to wrestle Bear in a singles match. I did get to wrestle Al a couple times, but I never got to wrestle Bear, which is something I wish I could have done.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been a great match to have.
Oh.
Bear versus J.R. Rock.
That would've been phenomenal.
That's money.
No, it's all day money.
Exactly. Did you get to wrestle
I
Donna
did.
Green and Bear?
I did. Got to wrestle Donnie, Al, Bear in tag matches and singles matches.
Probably wrestled them all at KCW. Or
Yeah.
Not KCW, but
Nice.
WCCW. Too, 'cause I remember going
Hey, we got Nice Guy Podcast here. He said, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, got to wrestle those guys at multiple towns and multiple shows. And
I've wrestled
Yeah.
Donnie on several occasions
Yeah.
and Rooster on several occasions.
Heck yeah. Because Donna Green is one of those minds that you want to learn from because he's got lots of knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. His dad and uncle, Big Bobby and Big Donnie, were with Danny Fargo when I started. So I got to see them wrestle.
Heck yeah. And my family actually put up rings for Danny Fargo.
Okay.
That was way back the early 90s to mid 90s. They were doing that. I didn't know anything about it. Just like I didn't even know that I was related to Bruno San Martino thanks to my grandpa on my mom's side.
oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. It shows that wrestling's always been something that I've loved.
Yeah.
It's been inside our blood. Because professional wrestling, to me, is the greatest art that there is. No other sport can bring people together like professional wrestling. I don't care who it is. You can say football, you can say basketball, you can say hockey, whatever. Nothing beats professional wrestling when it comes to bringing people from all walks of life together.
I could not agree with you more, buddy.
Absolutely.
Could
Ev-
not agree with you more.
Everybody's a wrestling fan, whether they admit it or not.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's the truth.
That is
And
absolutely
you're
true.
right about wrestling bringing people together. That's how me and Jen got together. She was a fan stalker for years and years, so she claims.
I mean, that's how Undertaker and Sarah first met.
I wouldn't say stalker.
Yeah, I'd use that term. Stalker sounds
Orange
accurate.
juice cake. That's what did
Yeah,
it.
see,
Orange
stalker.
juice cake. You messaged
Tell
me.
us that story.
No, you messaged me. Well, they were eating. We were at a event together, and it was for.
It was the
It was,
Kentucky
I know Scott
Wrestling
Diamond
Alliance.
was
It
doing.
Yeah.
Was it WCCW?
WCCW. It was a company down in Harlan. I forget their name. It was
Felony and Cujo.
KZW, Felony Cujo, SICW, and probably
just
5 or
having
6
a,
companies.
Yeah, we were just having like a big cookout at Jacobson Park.
Yeah.
And he was cooking on the grill with plastic silverware.
That wasn't my choice. The people hosting the
Plastic
cookout
Hey,
didn't
he was
bring
making
anything.
it work.
I know.
Oh,
he
they
did
did
make it
work.
work.
They didn't
Oh,
bring
man, that's the
anything.
worst.
He did make it work. But I had brought Scott Diamond requested the orange. No, that's before he had the orange juice cake.
Yeah.
I made an orange juice cake. I bake all the time, and Scott Diamond and JR were fighting over
Yeah.
the orange juice cake, and it ended up falling on the ground. And I believe Scott was
Yes.
the one that ate it off the ground.
I mean, that is Scott for you.
I ask, what is an orange juice cake?
It's like it's got orange juice in it instead of like the oil and things like that. It's got instead of the milk, it's got
Yeah.
orange juice. And it's really, really good.
Nice.
And then it's got like a powdered sugar and an orange juice glaze on top. But they were fighting over that. And then we went to a show in Indiana at the arena. And then he messaged me one night, because we hadn't talked for a while. And he messaged me one night, and he was just like, orange juice cake. And that's where it's been ever since. And we've been together ever since.
So the part that she's leaving out, it was so weird that this cake was supposed to be for everybody, but it said "I heart JR" on it.
I don't think that's true.
Hey, that's one way to let JR know that you're trying to get to his heart.
Right.
Hey, shout out to Bobby Doss. He said, "Good luck. He'll help us promote Frankfurt as much as possible." Thank you, Bobby. We
Yeah, thank you,
appreciate
Bobby.
that.
And he said he's
Appreciate
got to
that.
get
We
his
love you, Bobby.
new knee ready for a comeback.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Sounds like he wants to get back inside the ring.
That's fine. We're more than happy to have you, Bobby. You're always good.
That's
to me.
right. Because it's never hurts to get learning from all walks of promoters.
That's correct.
It helps you to
100%.
learn.
And the thing about Bobby is he's so connected in Frankfurt.
Yes.
He's another guy that just knows everybody. Everybody knows him. Good, bad, or indifferent. Just like me, just like Jennifer, just like JR since he's been there. Frankfurt, is a small town. And when you know people that know people that know people, it's kind of how it works there. So to have somebody like Bobby on our side, that's phenomenal.
That's how we got the convention center. Me and him work for the state, and so we were going to do it at my kids' elementary school.
Yeah.
But we had so many tickets that were already pre-sold that were wanting to go get involved with it, and then we had to get a bigger area, and we ended up getting the convention center. So we're really excited to give back. Frankfurt's a very loving community. Right now they're going through a lot because of the flood. And
Yeah.
we're hoping that we can maybe do something to give back with that. Any way that we can help partner or get our names out there, we're willing to go for it.
And,
Zach-
and Frankfurt's really come together on this flood because it's literally the worst I've ever seen. I've been in Frankfurt, been on the river my whole life,
Yes.
and this has just been awful. But everybody has come together in that town, and there's been no egos, there's been no politics. It's just, hey, neighbor, what do you need? I mean, people that you would never think that have come out of the woodwork. My dad still lives on the river. We have family that are on the river. We all have friends that are, down in apartments that are saying they could be out of their houses for a year.
Yeah.
And people have come out and said, what can we do? And it's been a crazy couple of weeks there, but I really think that it just shows that when we get KWF together, that it's going to be just one of those things that, like, all right, come on, let's do a wrestling show, and let's bring the community together, and let's get money to this cause and that cause. And none of us are rich people by any means, but rich with love is where I feel like we're going with this.
That's right. And John Gilbert, yes, it did flood in Frankfort, Kentucky.
It did. This is the worst flood since 1978.
Yes.
Yeah. It got to about 46 and a half feet.
Yeah, all of downtown was underwater.
Oh, yeah.
The
Courthouse.
distillery.
The courthouse, I was speaking to somebody today. The courthouse still has about 6 foot of water in it. So.
Yeah, it's still closed. They're
Yeah.
putting off everything down there.
Yeah.
It's slowly coming together, and they're
It
cleaning
is.
up everything,
Nice.
but it's still going to take a while.
And the Red Cross is here, and all these things are in Frankfurt right now. But yeah, it was a horrible flood this time.
It was.
I know that in Lexington, my cousin's basement was flooded. You couldn't get inside, but you couldn't move the door or anything because it was all water down inside there.
Oh wow!
So we have no idea if things were damaged or anything until
Yeah.
it finally clears out.
I didn't even know that Lexington had gotten.
I know.
That's wow.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, man. It's been one of those years that, and Mother Nature goes where she wants to and
Yep.
does what she wants to. And by the way, this video that's playing, this is a very young J.R. Rock.
Yes, it is. From, I think it was
This is how like I remember
2013.
you.
Yeah.
Because when I
Yeah.
first seen you I think you came in with Stan or somebody, I was like, so he looks so familiar. And then they played one of your videos, like that's who that guy
Yeah.
is. He was so terrifying when I was a kid, man.
Y'all have seen his last match with Stan Sierra at UCW.
It was
That
pretty
strap
good.
match, when he was taking that strap to Stan, you could hear Stan crying.
I've done that to a lot of people over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, me included.
Well, I was there when he put you through the windshield. That
Yeah, that's
time.
Oh, yeah. We always bring that up on the podcast.
Yeah.
We're like Jerry Rock and Scott Diamond. They pull up on Cody Matthews and put him through his own windshield.
Yeah.
That was
Real
before we
glass?
started tagging together.
Yeah,
Oh,
Real glass.
Now, are you going to start wrestling? Are you getting in the wrestling business?
yeah. That was
I'm
gonna be my
wanting
next
to,
question.
I've been trying to start working out and whatnot and watching what I eat. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking to get in.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, don't fool around none of these other guys. If you want to get trained, you come down to Frankfurt and you see me, and I'll get you to start your training.
That's right. And you can bring Barry and Donna Green up
Yes,
there
sir.
to
Bring
help.
Bear down there. I'd love to have him. And also tell that girl on your podcast is walking around with that lady's belt telling everybody she
Yeah.
wants to be a wrestler. Get her ass down to Frankfurt.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Train if she wants to be a wrestler.
That's right, because she says that she's been watching what she eats and she's been trying to get into
What do you
ring
need for a
shape.
wrestling license? Just a physical?
You have to get a physical, and
Yeah.
then they'll have to get
Physical
get the
license.
promoter to sign off on that you're training with them.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And then you get the training that you need because you don't want to go to any of these bad trainers, because there's a lot of bad trainers that'll tell you that they've trained. They haven't. They'll try to teach you some shit, and then you'll be going to someone like J.R. Rock and doing what they taught you.
You'll
And
get
J.R.
the
Rock's
shit
going to be
beat
like,
down of you.
exactly.
That's a fact.
Exactly, because a lot of these people that claim that they're trainers, they ain't good pro wrestling trainers because they never got trained.
Yeah.
So you want to go to a guy like J.R. Rock, or to EWA's training, or to Larry D's training, or even have Donnie Green train you, because Donnie Green has offered as well.
Yes, sir. Donnie
So I
would be a
say-
fantastic trainer.
I say if you want to get to the business,
I feel like this is the year, man. Like that, I finally need to jump in it, man. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
Just remember, when you start training, you're going to get out just as much effort as you put in it. If you go
That's
to
right.
training and you half-ass it, you're not going to learn anything. You got to go 100% and give all your effort to get what you're going to get out of it. There's a lot of
Exactly.
these guys that go to training maybe 2 or 3 months. Oh, well, I'm trained. I'm going to have some matches. They get to the shows. Oh, well, I don't need to train. That's for them greenhorns. And these guys still green as goose shit, too. Been in business maybe 1 or 2
Exactly.
years. They still need to be training, too.
and I gotta say that I hate the ones that go to a show and they don't want to help set up the ring or tear it down, because they think that the ring is so heavy. Why should I have to do it? Well, that's getting back to the business.
That's part of paying your dues in the
Exactly.
business. When you start training, if you're running a weekly or monthly show, you are required to be there to help set up and tear down the ring, put away chairs, sweep the floors. I did that for years.
That's right.
Years.
Danny
and
Fargo, I was doing that 5 or 6 years in the business with companies I worked at. I was doing that when I was helping run my company with John Strange in 2014 and 15.
That's
We
right.
still do that. It's
that's what I was about to say.
We're still
Because that's
yeah, on the
common
fair
knowledge.
tour, yeah.
Now, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I still help some.
That's
Yeah.
right. And that's what the podcast here has done. When Annie Presley needed someone to help come set up their ring at Wilmer, Kentucky, we went there and we set it up. When he needed someone to come and help set it up at the baseball park here in Lexington, it was the Nice Game Podcast that showed up to help. Because I remember the first time that we went to go help him, it was only Annie Presley, me, Sean, Chris Blade. Then we had Kirkpatrick there, but Kirkpatrick didn't. He didn't really do as much as we did. Maybe carried a chair or two, but that was it. And then Anthony Presley's ring guy that drives the truck, and then Anthony Presley himself. That's all it took. Only us 5 was the ones that put up the ring in about an hour. We thought that there was going to be tons of people, because they were saying all week, "Hey Anthony, I got you back. Anthony, I got you back. Get there."
That don't ever
Anthony
happen.
Presley and us.
Nah,
Man.
yeah,
When I was
that happens a lot.
When I was partnered with Joe Clark and Grant Searle doing Appalachian Wrestling Federation, I'd get to the show early, and me and 2 other people would set the ring up. And then same with John Strange, it'd be me, him, and Chris Noble would be there. The 3 people usually setting the ring up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Because a lot of people, they think because the ring is heavy, they don't have to help. What they don't understand is that you helping pays your dues.
That's right.
And it also shows respect to the ones that came before, because there's been a lot of people that didn't have to put up the ring that set up the ring anyways, because they knew that someone's going to get inside that ring and show out for the people that's going to be come there to wrestle in it. And always wipe your damn feet.
Always.
Because
always,
I've
always.
seen someone that get up there and they don't wipe their feet. And it really ticks me off, because it's like they're saying, I don't have to do what they do. And that's not how you do it.
I would wipe my feet before every match in collegiate wrestling.
That's
yeah,
right.
that's where I learned it too. Is when I started wrestling in high school,
What high school did you wrestle?
Frankfurt High, and
nice.
yeah.
Do you know Ivan Brown?
I know the name a little bit, man. I'm 46 years old, so It's been quite a few years since.
Yeah.
But they, it's just what that is. It's a respect because you don't want to leave your dirt. Well, first off, I didn't want to wrestle in the dirt on my shoes, and I didn't want to leave it for the next guy. And it's the same in the pro ranks.
That's right.
You don't want to, you don't want to be bumping in the guy's dirt that came before you, and so. And
also, the mat is sacred. Whenever you wipe your feet, you're showing respect to the ones that came before you that stepped between those ropes. Because you gotta remember, professional wrestling is professional.
That's right.
And that's professionalism. Anytime I've seen someone get up in there and they don't wipe their feet, I think to myself, I hope that their opponent beats the hell out of them because they just disrespected the guy before he even comes out there to wrestle them. So why not show these guys, hey, you're not going to wipe your feet, then I'm going to disrespect your ass too. Because to me, every time I see someone do that, it feels like they're spitting inside the face of those that came before. Kind of like if you were spit on a championship, and it's not for storyline or character-wise. It's just you, the person that's spitting on the title. You're basically spitting on those that came before. Because championship in wrestling, that is history.
That's good.
That is professional wrestling legacy right there that you're spitting on.
Well, let me tell you a little story about that. I won't say any names because this goof will probably get butthurt and go
Yeah.
piss his pants somewhere. But I was at a show, and one of these other guys had a belt from another company. He was wearing around the locker room like a mark. If you think I'm talking about you, I probably am. So
Guaranteed.
the other mark comes up when the old dude lays the belt down, picks up and spits on it. Tuh, tuh. This is what you can tell so-and-so about the belt. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I said, this is the locker room. It's just the boys. Who are you trying to work? You just make yourself look like a damn goof.
Exactly. And it shows that you have no respect for the business to be doing that.
Guys like that shouldn't even be in the damn business. As far as I'm
Exactly.
concerned.
There's a lot of guys that have been allowed to get inside business that ain't got the training. And also, they think that they're owed something when they're not because they've not yet earned the right to do anything.
Definitely. I see the Kentucky Wrestling Federation YouTube page is up. It's got 19
That's right.
subscribers. It's got some videos on there. A
That's
couple
right.
of recent ones. A lot of them are older videos. Some of the videos are from when I was doing television for HCW.
Nice.
Like 2006, 2008-ish. I was doing the production for our TV show on WYMT, so some of those old videos are up there.
Exactly. And looking at this is the match right here, Bmoney.
Yes, this is the match me and Stan had at
You see,
the
Stan.
Super Show.
You see, Stan wouldn't have been inside this problem if he just come out there and to congratulate you. Instead, he came out there to run his mouth and tell you to pick his side.
Hey, I can't say anything about Stan, even though we didn't have an agreement on that night. I love Stan Sierra to death.
Yep.
We are great friends and always will be, and that was a fantastic match.
Hell yeah, it was.
I just happened to get screwed by Kyle Maggard and Eric Porter that night.
Exactly. And next week, we will have Stan Sarah in the studio.
All right, I'll be watching that night. Heck yeah.
Because Stan the man, could we see him ever grace the doors of KWF?
Yes, sir. There's a very distinct possibility you could see him
Heck yeah.
in KWF.
Because that man right there is synonymous with Kentucky wrestling.
Yes.
He held
Yes.
the AMW championship 1,200 plus days. That's a big feat.
That is a big feat.
And even though Marty Clay was able to beat him, just remember, I ain't seen no one else hold the title that long. This man, no
Turn
matter
your
what.
chair over this way and look at this face, okay? I'm going to go ahead and tell this right now. I won the OWA heavyweight title in May of 2018.
Yeah.
And I have not lost it.
That means that you are now.
Literally still has the belt.
It's in
Literally.
my
It's in his house.
And you beat Chase Stevens.
I
for
beat
that
Chase
belt.
And that
Stevens.
means that
Yeah.
you're now 2,000 something
That is
days.
correct.
Which means that Stan Sierra's a record. I'm sorry, Stan. It fails in comparison to the reign that he's had. He's
Now-
still the champion.
Now I'm going to put a caveat out there. OWA did go out of business in 2022,
Still counts.
but I did not lose the belt, and I still have it. So
That's true. That is definitely true. He's still got the belt. He's still the champion. No one has beat him in an officially sanctioned match.
correct.
Therefore, he is still 2,800 plus days.
Yes.
Counting.
But
which means
That's
that
right.
Stan's reign
his stands reign is more impressive than mine because he's had way more title defenses than I ever have. So
and the company's still in business.
Yes.
Yeah. But why did OWA go out of business?
They just transitioned ownership and have ran under other company names.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, I see Terry England's on the horn.
Oh, here he is.
He said the main thing is Terry England is Luna's favorite promoter. Now, here's a story about cheap Terry England, okay? Everybody knows how cheap you are, Terry England. Terry England spent money at a show to buy her a snow cone.
Wow.
I about had a heart attack.
Well, but let me ask you this, though. On that same night, was your envelope a little short?
No, it was not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I ate some of the snow cone just so I could tell Terry she wasn't the only one that got some of
I
it.
took a picture and sent it to him just so he can know that he had some of that snow cone.
Terry, you know we love you. Anytime you want to send us some money, I'll send you my Venmo, my Cash App. You know, we're company trying to get started here, buddy.
Yeah, they'll put you over.
We are sorry for your loss,
Yes.
Terry. Very
Yes.
sorry.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And we are here to support you in anything you need, brother.
Absolutely.
Prayers
Yeah.
go out to you, brother.
And on that same thing, while we were talking about him earlier, we'd like to send some prayers out to Anthony Presley as well. Hope his daughter's okay.
Yep.
No, she just had a hospital stint, so brother, we hope she's great, and we'll send out prayers. And Terry, for sure, your partner was one of the. I can't say enough about all the times that at your all's company that you all take good care of me. So, we're sending prayers to you from up here.
I'll
That's
send
right.
prayers too, even though you never booked me. I hope she feels better.
Yeah, he should have booked you because I feel like there's a lot of New South matches versus JR Rock that would have been money.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, well, maybe we can get some of those now. But, we can get some of those same guys at Kentucky. It's
Jared's
Kentucky
an
wrestling.
asshole. That's why he doesn't get booked.
Uh,
Everybody knows he's an asshole.
but he's not going to be that way promoting.
No,
Yeah.
I
That's
will
right.
let him
I am.
know.
Yeah,
He'll be professional.
Yeah, all right.
He'll be professional.
We all know he's gonna be a professional asshole.
I'm
Yeah,
going to be in the
professional.
back like Danny Fargo saying, come get your tasty sandwiches.
Yeah.
And the boys can get their $5 bill and their hot dog at the end of the night because the house was short.
So wait a minute.
That's
minute.
right.
Is this going to be a go see cricket and get a
Yes.
hot dog? So it's going to be go see Jen.
Go see Jen and get a hot dog.
Okay,
Yes,
got it,
sir.
You know what? He learned
sir.
from Terry England as well.
Yes, sir.
If he's going to get them, they got to pay him $5 each for the hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
right. That's right. I say, get your hot dog. I'll just take it out of your envelope.
That's right.
That's right. And they got to deal with it because he's doing the best job as a promoter that they ever had.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
He must be getting a little soft at his old age to buy a snow cone.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, it was for Luna. I would give her every dollar in my pocket, but for
You're
Terry,
her
that's
favorite.
yeah.
I think Terry's going to have to try to argue with you to
Yeah.
be Luna's favorite because
Yep.
you're her favorite.
Yeah.
Toss up, Terry. Cody is one of her favorites, buddy. I'll tell you right now.
Over her daddy.
Yes. Yeah, she
Yes.
said Cody is her favorite wrestler over me.
That's right. And
I have a new young daughter, so JR will probably be her favorite wrestler, promoter. It's coming.
that's right. And as you can see on the screen there, Stan's trying his best to get out of this strap match.
Now, I have an advantage in this match over most people because I've been used that strap for over a decade.
Yes.
So I know how to use it just right. I can flick it out and hit you on the tip of your nose with it. So I've got the advantage over most people when it comes to a strap match.
Exactly. This is your match.
I've been in the middle of the ring, I don't know how many times, and guys will be on the floor, and I'll roll it out and snap it right in their face.
Oh. Hey, sometimes that's the way to do it.
They all
You
have
steal
that,
that fear in them.
they get that little brown stain in their pants.
Yeah. Kind of like how Chucky Smooth ended up suffering that and got spine busted after he said, no.
Yes.
And then had to deal with that. Goes to the back, takes off all his clothes like, I'm out of here.
Yes.
So if there's any wrestler that have let the brown streak after JR Rock did that, get to JR Rock and tell him your story for book number 2.
Yes. More stories for book number 2.
That's right.
If I do a second book, it'll be next year. I want to get as much play out of this first book as I can.
Heck yeah. Because that's the way to do it. Plus, a lot of wrestling stories, people going to be wanting to read these stories. Maybe Bmoney will be wanting to see what you have to say about his dad. It might be scary.
Yeah.
It might be okay too, but he's definitely going to be wanting to read it. But also, guys, like, do you got any stories on Crush Your Bones?
Maybe a couple.
Yeah.
Tripping Balls just might be interested in reading that.
Let's see. I've got stories about John Strange, how he first got into business. He told me that story so many times I put it in there. I've got stories about the Macho Man with his run-in with Del Bass when he was interviewing him at a show.
Nice.
I've got a couple of Victor Bruiser stories from shows I was on. I've got a story about Cousin Jed. It's very funny Cousin Jed story. All the Ice Train stories are hilarious. I've got a story about Maria James cutting a promo on a promoter in Georgetown. It's absolutely hilarious. I've got several stories about people getting in near fights or fights in the locker rooms.
Yeah.
All kinds of good stuff.
That's what it's all about. People going to be wanting to read this book and find out who was the people that was getting in near fights. Yes. Because, man, sometimes that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Like what's happening right now. This guy was using the strap on you. Yeah. Meanwhile, the referee's just standing there letting them do it.
Yeah, come on, Anthony Wayne. What's your problem?
So,
exactly.
JR, the book's going to be available paperback, hardback, and digital.
Yes, I haven't got the digital up yet, but it will be available. They'll all be on Amazon, and they'll be able to get it at my gimmick table. I prefer you buy it directly from my gimmick table for the hardback and paperback because I get more of the proceeds from that.
That's right. Which they should definitely check out. And as you can see, he's got you up against the ropes and he's taking it over to the corner. But you're proving that you're smarter. You got the experience. You took your foot and you stopped it. Immediately slammed his head into it. I got to tell you, when y'all were fighting, that felt like a real fight. Because y'all were slamming that strap into each other's backs, sides. Y'all were dropping each other onto the apron. And he was choking you with the strap even.
Oh, yes. Yes. A lot of my matches are very physical. Some people say that I might be a little stiff.
That's just them showing their softness. Because if they think that you're being stiff, you're just laying it in.
Hey, I give everybody the prerequisite warning and disclaimer.
That's right.
Match, so it's all
that's like with Chris Crow. He was in here Sunday night a couple months back. They said he likes to lay it in. They say that's stiff. He says no, it's just snug.
That's right.
I have a lot of people tell me that until we actually start wrestling. Then they change their tune real fast.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Tell your story about the one that wanted the strap and then cried in front of me after he got the strap.
I got a couple of stories I'll tell. So I was down. This story's in the book. I'll give you one of the book stories for free. Me and Cody were down at WCCW in Nicholasville for Santa on their last little stretch. And I'm wrestling Frankie Swamp Tower. I don't know if he's still around or not. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, me neither.
So he's like, well, let's go in here and we'll do this deal, and you start whipping me with the strap, and I'll no-sell it. I said, that's fine, brother. I said, you're more than welcome to give it a try.
No selling.
So we go in there, and I start lighting him up. He doesn't no-sell. He's selling big time. He's out on the floor rolling around crying like a girl. Just like the 16-year-old girls in the front row were crying.
They were.
And then the referee goes over to him after the match. He's like, you're crying like a little bitch in front of his wife.
Which was true.
It was true.
Yeah, very,
Simply
very
Rick
true.
He
chimed
didn't
in.
want that strap like he thought he did.
Yes. Another story I'll tell you, talk about working snug. Now, everybody knows that when me and Zodiac wrestle each other, we absolutely beat the shit out of each other.
Yes.
So the guy I used to work with, he's been retired for a couple of years now, and he was Zodiac's tag team partner and road partner for a long time, named Sean Bain. So we're wrestling down at WCCW one night. He's like, well, I want to wrestle. Well, you and Zodiac wrestle each other. I'm like, are you sure, Sean? He said, yeah, I want to do it. I said, okay. So he comes down. He's got this leather motorcycle vest zipped up. We start the match, and I grab him. I'm just fucking pounding him, bam, bam, into the turnbuckles, one right after another, boom, boom, boom. I throw him out on the floor. He comes back in with the vest off. It wasn't a stiff match after that. He wanted to work a little bit lighter.
He wanted it stiff at the beginning, but then after he felt it, he's like, oh, screw that. So that's how they work.
Yeah, that's how. Hey, me and Zodiac were headbutting each other so hard in Frankfurt one night. We had a guy sitting in the crowd about to
Yeah.
throw up in his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, that's the way to do
I
it. Though.
told everybody about it afterwards.
Yeah, you did.
That's the way to do it, though. Whenever you're having someone that can match your energy, stiff the hell out of each other because y'all can take it. Y'all can understand each other when y'all throwing hands.
Probably my biggest rival in my career and one of my favorite tag team partners in my career.
Heck yeah, because Zodiac was our very first champion, which I'm
Yes.
proud to
Yeah.
have up there.
Yeah.
Because Zodiac, he just recently lost his mask
Yes.
during
He
a
did.
Saw that.
AMW Monsters Balls match.
Yes.
Now, when he unmasked, it shocked me. I was like, oh, God, because I thought they had it. But then Misery grabs him and slams him onto the thumbtacks, and I'm like, there's no way he's going to get the win, is he? Got the 3. And I was like, oh, don't do it, Zodiac. Zodiac's like, I'm a man of my word. Rips off the mask, and I'm pretty sure that guy sold me a car before with no motor.
Yeah, he probably did.
And Simply Rick said, some of my best matches are with Rock.
Oh, I'll tell you a story about Rick Gunner once, all right?
All
We
right.
were wrestling one of the best promos I've ever seen. It was great. We were down in Jackson at the Armory. Gunner comes out doing his stuff. He gets on the ropes. He's a baby. I'm a heel.
Yeah.
He's like, where are my poor people at? Everybody in the building stood up and was cheering. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Absolutely fantastic.
That's the way to do it. That shows that he was connected with the people.
Yes.
Man, it shows that you've had a long history with wrestlers.
Yes.
Who would you say was your favorite opponent
Oh, favorite.
besides Zodiac?
I can't say Cody's. I only wrestled him 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. We just beat each other up a lot.
And also
That's
put
what
him through a
wrestling.
windshield.
Believe it or not, I would probably have to say John Strange. I had some
Nice.
damn good matches with John Strange in Georgetown when we were wrestling each other. The summer when Jim Chadwick was booking down there and
Yes,
pushing
sir.
me and John in the main
God bless
event
his soul.
for the heavyweight title run, I had some really good matches with John.
Yeah, me
Nice.
too. You know, our great matches. I was watching one of them the other night. First guy to ever give me a T-bone suplex. Just the guys. John's one of those guys that when you look at him, you're like, okay. But then you get in the ring with him, and he is just phenomenal. I mean, he's just great. And then you talk to him for a few minutes, and you're like, God, this guy's,
He's a retard.
yeah, he's nuts. He's completely out of his mind.
Hey,
But then again, just as soon as that bell rings,
Yes.
John can go out there and go with anybody.
And he'll take the hardest bumps, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I witnessed him taking one that kind of left me surprised because the match wasn't even something that could have caused that kind of bump, jumping off the ladder like that.
We were doing some really innovative stuff when we were working. Like we'd do a head scissor thing.
Nice.
So he'd shoot him off. I'd go give him a head scissor, and he'd hook my head, and then we'd just keep spinning, do like 3 or 4 rotations, and he'd do like a full winged eagle kind of deal. Then I'd take the bump over. So we were doing some really good stuff.
Heck yeah, because that shows that y'all trusted each other,
Yes.
especially in that moment. That, to me, shows that J.R. Rock can work with the best of them.
Yes.
Who would you say was your favorite little wrestler that you worked with?
Favorite little wrestler?
Yep, someone that's not been as tall as you.
Oh, I wrestled Kid Mac one night. You know who Kid Mac is?
Yep.
I wrestled Kid Mac.
Would you say that would be your favorite little man match?
He's the littlest person I've ever wrestled, so yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir.
That just shows that J.R. Rock can work with the best of them.
Yeah.
And he went out on a high note. Cody Matthews, who would you say was your favorite opponent?
I would probably have to say Todd Morton. Todd took such good care of me when I first started, and I was so green and so dumb and going out there trying to kill myself in other matches. And he was like, he went to Joe Bailey and he was like, I'll work with this guy because I was reffing 5 matches and then working Todd in the main event under a mask.
Is that
Yeah.
BBW?
Yeah, BBW, yeah, and he just took such good care of me, and and Bull Payne was another one, all those guys. But Todd, so we had those matches, and I didn't see him for a few years, and he came back and started wrestling again. We wrestled again, and it just so the guys that I've had the most matches with that my favorite it would be Todd Morton for sure. But there's so many out there, man. There's just I could name names all day long of guys that have taken care of me, and everybody from the Greens to the Steels to Todd to Bull to I mean the list just goes on and on and on. But I just so fondly remember those matches with Todd and how he took a guy like me who knew nothing and would take care of me every night.
Heck yeah, because it shows that he understood.
Yeah, absolutely, he did. And Kid Mac would be mine on the other question too, because
Nice.
God, it was so much fun working with him because he listened so well. Because I've wrestled with other, and Kid he was great.
Now, Kid can't wrestle anymore, but I'm going to try to get him down to KWF for some meet and greet and
Ah.
appearances.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
That would be great to see.
Now, I would like to get back on the KWF track if we can.
Yes, we
I
can.
would like to hear from Jen. What is your vision for KWF, and what do
Yeah.
you want to do with KWF?
I just want to be a strong promotion within Kentucky. We do want to work with other promotions. If anybody's willing to work with us, we can swap talent. We can help do fundraising. We can do community outreaches. We just want to have a family friendly show.
Yep.
We want to be involved. We want to bring wrestling, like the life of wrestling, back into the communities. Because I know some people think wrestling's fake.
Yeah, they always use that F word.
Yeah. But wrestling does give life to a lot of people. I know my daughter is an example. She has grown with several of the wrestlers. Cody is one of, like I mentioned, he's one of her favorites. She loves Cash Jackson, Brandon Wolf. Those are some of her favorites. But they make it a point to be involved with her. They make it a point to be involved with all of the children, and that's what we want. That's the kind of people we want to be involved with our shows. We want people that's family friendly. We don't want the nasty, language, the drama. We want to have a no drama zone. So we're hoping that we can do that and just have something that gives back to the community. That's our biggest goal, is to give back and to bring wrestling back to life.
Exactly. That's the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like KWF has the right idea.
We do. What is your...
Yeah, I was gonna say let's shoot the same question to you, sir.
I'd like to have a legacy, and I'd like to be promote as long as Jimmy Walls has, as long as Terry England has. Have a lasting legacy in Kentucky as a well-known promotion.
Heck yeah.
Maybe even train some people up through our ranks that can go on and get signed in bigger companies.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's a great ideal to have for yourself. I think you could do it
I hope so. I hope we can.
because it feels like you got the experience now. You got people that's helping you. They're teaching you. You're learning. I think that you're going to go as long as Terry England has went, as long as Jimmy Walls has went, and as long as Andy Presley had went. Because now AMW owns New South Wrestling,
Yes, that is correct.
which means
We also got to throw the MWA in there.
Yes.
Oh,
and
Chris
Yeah.
Hayes, yes.
love
Chris,
MWA, which we're watching Jim and Jen Chadwick on the screen. Former MWA guy.
Yeah, that was Fargo first, correct?
Yep.
And then he sold it to Chris.
It was
Yeah.
Del Mann.
Yep,
Del
Del
Mann
T.
first,
Man.
okay.
He sold it to Fargo.
Well, okay, and then to
Fargo,
Chris.
I think Fargo sold it to the Parkers. Then the Parkers sold it back to Fargo.
Yep.
Then Fargo sold it to Chris Hayes.
Oh wow,
Yep.
I did not know that
I
part.
was there for all of that when that
Oh,
happened.
okay.
That's right.
I'd heard the Del Man thing, but nobody ever confirmed it.
Yes.
So
And Del T. Man was a
yeah, oh
big man.
yes, sir.
But that's the great thing about MWA. Even though it's been gone, people still remember it.
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully we can get Dirty Chris out of the house to come down to a KWF show.
I mean, we did get him out of the house to come onto the
I know you
podcast
did.
last year.
That's why I was throwing it out there.
So maybe, Chris, maybe if you're not doing anything, maybe come out of your house and come down to KWF and check it out. You never know. You might end up liking it and catching that bug again. Because we will be working to get him back into the studio later this year. Probably about the same time as we did last year. the summer of the NWA.
I talked to Chris Hayes on the phone not too long ago. I want to get some stories for the book from him, so I'm hoping to get back in touch with him.
Heck yeah. Have you talked to Playboy Scott Hayes?
I have not. I don't have his contact information, but I did have Chris's.
Hey, we had a guy that claimed to be a Patriot, but
See that picture right there, Bobby Blade and that Roddy Palmer?
Yep.
That's the night that I actually transitioned from wrestling in tights to a kilt.
nice.
And that whole story about how that took place is in the book as well.
Heck yeah. And looking at Jim Chadwick, he's had a lot of looks over the years.
Yes.
A lot.
There's one manager that will always be the greatest Kentucky manager in all time.
Absolutely.
It is
I
Jim
agree.
and Jim Chadwick. No offense to anyone else that's been manager. Jim and Jim is the
offense
marquee.
to everybody out there that is managing.
That's right.
Jim Chadwick is the bar for managers in Kentucky.
That's right. And also, he is the only manager to be inducted into the New South Hall of Fame, because they made it a point to make sure that only Jim and Jim got that distinction. And right there is what inspired me to start wearing my sequins. That look right there is with the gold shiny jacket that he's wearing. Also, he wore one of these before.
Well, I guarantee no matter what he's got on the outside, he's got a pair of pink socks on underneath.
Yeah.
That's right.
Guaranteed.
That was his thing. And also, guaranteed he always had his kendo stick with him, too.
And a lot of people don't know, but Jim Chadwick is the guy that got me in the wrestling business.
Nice.
He's the one that got me first started when I was doing backyard wrestling. One of the guys' mom worked with Jim, and he said, if the boys are serious about wrestling, send them down, and I'll introduce them to Danny Fargo. And that's how I got started in the wrestling business.
Well, look at this. James Kendrick said, I might have to check it out because Bullpen Pro Wrestling as well.
Yeah, come on down.
And then there's Terry. He said, congratulations, guys and girls.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
Yes.
He also said this. Jeremy Stanley must be drunk. The reason JR's envelope wasn't light is because Jimmy paid him. The first clue would be that there was an envelope to begin with. I don't buy envelopes.
That's probably true.
No, that's a good point. Didn't even think about that.
He don't buy envelopes, he said. Hey, now we know. Charrington don't buy envelopes, so don't ask him to. But yeah, James Kendrick is definitely interested. I also think that a company called Pro Wrestling Alliance would be interested in working with KWF as well. They're from Carrollton, Kentucky. We had them on here a couple of weeks ago.
Well, who's running that? Who's the promoter up there?
It is Charles Niels Pearson.
All right.
I'll send you his link, and I'll let him know who y'all are.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then Bullpen Pro Wrestling, Jen Kendrick helps them out, so I'll
We
hit them
watched
up as well.
the show the other day I saw where he was on promoting it.
That's what it's all about, because Bullpen's a recently young company as well. It is having its third show actually May 11th in Louisville, Kentucky. That's going to be a good one. Me and Andy, we plan to go down there and check it out. And when KWF has their show, we're going to come down there and check it out too.
Yes,
And I
sir.
advise people to do the same.
We'd like to have you on board, yes, sir.
Because I'm telling you, Kentucky wrestling has been the boomingest period that has ever been, starting now. Because remember, there was people that's trying to write us off for years, trying to say Kentucky ain't got no wrestling. Now they can't deny us because they've been seeing our talents going to places like AEW. Billy Starks, she comes from Grindhouse Pro Wrestling up there in Indiana. Has wrestled here in Kentucky. And then you got people like Ricochet, who goes from Paducah, Kentucky, and he's on the big leagues. But here's the thing. There would be no big leagues without the independent wrestling scene. And people can deny that all they want.
I mean, Kentucky was one of, Jerry Jarrett and Jerry Lawler's. They ran Louisville constantly. They ran Lexington constantly, and that's that company ran for 50 years.
Exactly.
Kentucky's always been a hotbed for pro wrestling. You're right. There was a few years ago, everybody said Kentucky wrestling was dead and oversaturated, and this group popped up, and that group. You know what? Look around you all. Those groups are gone, and the strong group survived. And there's so many great promotions in Kentucky right now. So much good wrestling, and again, to be back a part of Kentucky Wrestling Federation. to hopefully get very, very soon. Sorry, you all. Love everybody out there. Everybody knows I do, but y'all going to have to compete with us now.
That's right.
Yes.
And it's healthy competition, which helps all of the promotions do good.
Yes.
And if someone ends up slacking, well, that's on them. They got to understand this can be a healthy competition. That's going to help all promotions grow. I can't wait.
We're all very, very excited. Everybody that's been reaching out to us, we're excited to have you all on board. In the coming months, we'll start releasing names of the people that's going to be on our first show.
Can't wait.
Our first show is going to be an 8-man single elimination tournament for the heavyweight championship. So in the coming months, we'll start having releases of each individual member of this tournament. Probably have some promo videos from each guy. So we're going to try to get it hopped up, and it should be a really good tournament. We're going to have a lot of great guys in it. So we're hoping it'll be a good turnout for the first show.
That's what I'm talking about. And it also gives folks something to look forward to because it's going to be a tournament.
Yes.
And that's going to go from there because you got all those championships already ready.
Yes.
I think people need to start tuning in because here soon, KWF is going to be announcing things that they didn't think would be possible.
Yes, we've already got on the YouTube page the KWF theme. Thank you, Jizzy Rizzy. He also did the theme for New Origins Wrestling. We were promoting that. It's an original piece he did. It's called Win Tonight. It's the KWF theme song. So if you get a chance, hit the YouTube and check that out.
And hit the subscribe button.
Right here.
Yes, like and subscribe. Yes, that's it right there. KWF theme by Jizzy Rizzy. Win Tonight.
Well,
Yes,
let's do a
everybody
little
like
slip
and
of it.
subscribe. We want as many subscribers as we can.
This is the KWF theme.
Yes.
Ain't bad at all. I like it. That's right. This is the KWF theme. You can go onto the KWF Kentucky Wrestling Federation YouTube right now, and it's the first video that you will see. It says KWF theme Win Tonight, posted 5 days ago. Only 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Hell yeah, that's a awesome theme song.
Yeah. Thank you, Jizzy Rizzy, again for doing that.
Heck yeah. That right there is a damn good theme song if I ever heard one. And I can't wait to watch it and also be a part of it.
Yep. All of our shows we're going to film and we'll put on our YouTube page so everybody can see snippets of it. We probably won't put the heavyweight championship matches on there because that's what we want people to come to the building
Exactly.
to see. But we'll have other matches and promos and all the typical stuff you see on all the pages on there.
Exactly. And right here is you and Marcus Johnson at a fair show, I think.
This is at the
Garrett
Garrett County Heritage Tobacco Festival.
Nice.
They have every year. The ring set up right in the square in front of the courthouse.
Nice. See, that's what it's all about. Having wrestling right there in front of a courthouse. They can't deny wrestling has a cultural impact on everything.
Oh, yeah, especially in this area.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can't deny that the Appalachian Mountain area has some of the greatest fans ever.
Oh, yeah.
And so does the Frankfort, Kentucky fans, because when I was going to KPW, they showed out. They made sure their voice was loud.
Always.
They do.
And when I met Austin Diamond back in 2022 at a KPW show, he was doing the ring announcing for the show. Me and Andy spoke to him. We didn't even realize that this kid was younger than us by a lot. He was 16 at the time. Me and Andy's talked to him and got to know who he was. And then we spoke to Scott Diamond. One thing led to another. We brought both of them onto the show as the first time that father and son got to do a podcast together.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's really cool.
That's really good.
It was. And
I remember when Austin first started training up at KPW, I tried to give him some advice and help him out. So I'll give you some more advice, Austin. Keep training, get your head on your ass, and put in some effort.
do you still help give him some advice?
I just did.
That's right. Austin, if you want to grow hair on your balls, why don't you go to J.R. Rock's training school and learn a thing or two from J.R. Rock? But only time will tell if he actually does.
That's right. Oh, another thing, Austin, where are you at? Caverna, open invitation
Exactly.
for you. Stan had to step in because you didn't show up. I had the open challenge. I didn't see you nowhere.
Yeah, you only accepted the challenge here on the podcast, but you did not go to the actual show itself. He was waiting all that time. Want to fight Scott's flesh and blood to teach him a lesson on what you do. You chickened out, Austin. So Stan had to step up for you.
That's right.
But that's how it goes in wrestling. If one man don't come to do his job, the other guy's going to do it for him.
That's right. Oh, a shout out real quick. Tomorrow night in Danville, EWA will be having a show. I'll be there. I'll have a merchandise table.
Same here.
I'll probably be in the back helping out doing something. So everybody come out and support EWA.
Speaking of EWA, somebody was inside a Easter Bunny costume a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We have
I
a
remember
suspicion
that.
on who it was.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone attacked Marcus out of that.
Somebody,
That was
yeah.
the
Yeah.
Easter Bunny. I don't know.
We won't mention
It was
any
somebody
names.
big, but we didn't know who it was.
What are you pointing fingers at me for?
I mean, he attacked Marcus Johnson, and people were saying, that's J.R. Rock, that's J.R. Rock. I'm like,
Hey, I tell you right now, none of those people had any damn idea in the world who the Easter Bunny was until that
Exactly.
attack happened.
That's right.
and you know why?
Not one.
Because when you were underneath the costumes mask, you didn't act like J.R. Rock. You did different body language,
Now, outsmarted
everything.
them.
Everyone there did not know that J.R. Rock was the Easter Bunny the whole time. It's the foolproof brand, and Marcus Johnson found out the hard way. Don't turn your back on the Easter Bunny.
That's right.
Could end up being J.R. Rock.
I think Bobby Blade got accosted by the Easter Bunny on that.
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that he
I think he
kissed the
got
man's
covered.
head.
Yeah, I
was-
think he got covered in some candy too.
yeah.
Like having candy tossed at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
was all over the Easter Bunny's carrots, all I'm going to say.
Bobby was horrified to the point that he's still traumatized anytime he sees an Easter Bunny.
Hi,
Like-
Bobby. We love you.
Yeah.
You're the man, Bobby. Just stay away from those Easter bunnies.
Yeah, again, guys, EWA's in Danville tomorrow night. There's also, I promise you, wherever you are listening to this, watching this, there's an independent wrestling show somewhere. Go out there and support, you all. You know, find an independent wrestling show. If you're anywhere near Danville, go see the EWA. I'm not real sure, as I have been out for a year. The next time AMW and those guys down there, the USWF and UCW fair shows are
Fair
about
show
to.
started
That's
in May.
right.
Yeah,
First
May.
show in
And
Carrollton.
also-
And again, the most fair shows of any company, you know, in the Kentucky area. Again, you see, you know, go find an independent wrestling show. When we come to Frankfurt, we hope you come out in droves, you know, to watch ours. But if you're not in the Frankfurt area, go out there and find one. That
That's right.
Grindhouse up in Indiana.
That's
they're-
good
they're
company.
all over Louisville, you know. Guys, just go out there and support independent wrestling.
And also, tonight, AMW is having their return to Jackson, Kentucky.
That is tonight. That's right. That's so yeah. AMW. I can't say enough about those guys either. They were always good to me. But like I said, guys, go out there and find an independent wrestling show. I promise you, between tonight and Sunday, there are hundreds
Yes.
of shows. Wherever you are in the world, go out there and find one.
Once the fair tour starts, they'll have shows 3-4 nights a week, more than likely. Now, we're planning on doing a Sunday matinee show. That way you don't have to be out late, not before work. I know most people do their shows on Saturday, so doing Sunday, we'll be able to get all those guys that couldn't come on Saturday nights because there's so many companies competing. So we're going to try to do a Sunday 4 or 5 o'clock bell time show so everybody can come, have a good time, go home, get in bed early.
Exactly. That's awesome. And tomorrow also, there's a bull rope match.
Yes, there is.
I'm looking forward to that because we just witnessed a strap match. So a bull rope match
Hopefully they can
will also be
compete.
fun. But will it live up to what J.R. Rock and Stan Sarah did?
Well, we hope so. We'll see. I hope it does.
Because if it does, that'll be great. Let's be down. I'm going to say right now, best strap match was UCW Converting Super Show back in March 15th, 2025. The Blue Rope match has a long task ahead of itself. Party Mike, Creed Costello, y'all claim y'all hate each other? Well, let's see y'all tear each other up like he did, Stan Sierra, and Stan did to him. Just saying.
One more time, who's in that match tomorrow?
It is Party Mike Howard versus Creed Costello, Bull Rope match. And they've hated each other so much that over the course of 2024 to now, it's come to this. Bull Rope match, they got to prove who's the better man. But if it don't come as close as J.R. Rock and Stan Sierra, I'm going to call it now. Best strap match there is J.R. Rock, Stan Sierra, UCW Converting Super Show, March 15th, 2025, which you can still catch on the YouTube and on the Facebooks.
Yep.
Go check it out. But tomorrow night, you got a chance to witness a bull rope match. You also got a chance to watch a 20-man rumble.
Yep, 20-man battle royal. I heard you might be able to see the Nippler in the battle royal tomorrow night. You never know who's going to show up.
Last time we saw the Nippler was at a Scott Diamond's birthday bash back in early 2023. He came in there and he got a lot of people with the nipping.
He's creepy.
Yeah.
Very creepy.
Exactly. He had Parman Cam running for the fences because he was taking the plunger and trying to jab it up there.
That's right. He lets them have it, that's for sure.
Exactly. But you'll never know if he'll pop up because the Nippler tends to pop up anywhere, any place, wherever he feels like. And that's huge. If he does show.
So when you come to KWF, you'll see Jen at the front of the house. She'll be taking tickets, helping with concessions. We're going to have a merchandise table with T-shirts, the books, pictures, all the works. You'll see Cody out front in the ring doing whatever commissioner business he's got to take care of. I'll be in the back. You may see me around just doing whatever. But
Heck yeah.
we'll all be there. We hope everybody can come out and support us. We're really looking forward to this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Have y'all been able to find any producers and camera people to help you out?
I'm good,
So
thank you.
my background is a bachelor's and master's
Yeah.
degree in electronic production, video editing. So I'll be doing all the video stuff. When New Origins had a Roku deal,
Yeah.
we had 3 cameras. I was the head of the production team. I did all
Nice.
that. When HCW had a TV deal with WYMT, I did all the video editing for that. When the UWF had a YouTube TV, I did all the video editing for that.
Heck yeah.
So I'll be doing all the post-production work, all that stuff, doing most of the designs for the flyers. We're going to have a hard cam with a headset set up. We're going to have one mobile around the ring cam, and we may have an over-the-top cam like we did in New Origins. So we'll have a
Nice.
3-camera setup.
You see, he's more than just an ass kicker. He's also an
Educated.
intellectual.
That's right.
Oh, and as far as background producers and stuff, they're JR and myself will be there, and then from what I understand, there are talks with some really good people to help out in the locker room. So
Heck yeah. I mean, that's the way to do it because if all y'all come together, KWF is going to be the place to go to.
We hope
No
so.
offense to everyone else.
We hope everybody wants to come and be a part of KWF and see all the exciting stuff we've got going on.
Exactly. When I saw the logo, I knew that was going to be big because that logo is fire.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad everybody likes it.
That right there proves that y'all already knew what y'all wanted to do. That you already had the ideal right there inside the back of your mind. And it just came to be.
Well, this was probably the 4th or 5th version of the logo when I sit down and started designing logos.
Nice.
Yeah,
Came
when
up
we
with this
when
one.
we did it, it was like, oh, that's it.
Heck
That's the one
yeah.
that we want. But we do want to say thank you because we've had so many people reach out to us, me especially, when we first made the post. I shared it, and there's been people from Texas, New York,
Baltimore.
There's been so many people from all over, from promoters to wrestlers to managers, people to volunteer
Referees.
service for security to reffing. We've had so many people that's reached out to us, and we're so thankful. So we're just ready to get in and get started as soon as we get legal and on the board. We're just ready. So be ready for us in the fall.
That's right. Be ready for the fall. Because you're going to be seeing more KWF. I believe it. And plus, you're going to have lots of talent, too.
We are.
And if Bullpen Pro Wrestling and companies like Pro Wrestling Alliance also lend hands, we'll be seeing KWF maybe invade one of those two. You never know.
We're open to that. We're open to working with other companies. We're open to getting like volunteer communities, anything that we can help do to get our name out there to help make wrestling better, to get people involved in wrestling. We're willing and able to do whatever. So,
and that's the right thing to do too, because it helps to get eyes on you.
yes.
And I think that people, if they ain't ready yet, they need to be.
Yes.
Because
very
you never know.
quickly.
It's going to come by a storm.
Well, it's happened so quickly for us. Like, we came together and we're like, oh, well, we're going to do this after his retirement. And then it's just like been boom, 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 one thing after another. And then here we are. We're almost ready to just hit the road running. And we're excited.
Heck yeah. You were saying, Cody?
I just was saying that it's gonna say Jen took the words right out of my mouth that it's coming just as soon as they call me, and then speaking to both of them, they were like, we were getting calls and messages and tech, just everything. Everybody wanted to be involved, and we can't wait. And we absolutely want you guys involved. Nice
Heck
Guys
yeah.
podcast, bro. We'd love
We
to have you.
definitely want to be
Yeah.
involved. And John Gilbert, you're right. He said, going to have to get you down here to Texas Superfly, because there's some good promotions up there, too.
Absolutely,
There
there
are.
is. Yeah.
Like one of our good friends that regularly tunes into the podcast, besides John Gilbert, is Ian Mosley, the mouth, as he's called up there. He works for APW, and they're a good promotion. And he does his thing. People hate him. That means he's doing the right thing.
That's correct.
Because that's who he is. But that's how wrestling's supposed to be. If you're good at your job, you can make anyone hate your guts.
That's right.
And if you're a good babyface, you can make anyone love you. But I have to say, I prefer being the heel, because the heel can do whatever they want to get those people mad. Babyface has to stick to the script. Has to be cookie cutter. Has to be so babyface that he can't say anything else that would get those fans to love him.
That's right.
It's a hell of a story.
Can I chime in on that for 1 second?
Yep.
All right. I was at New Origins Wrestling, and as far as being a good heel and a good baby face,
Yeah.
I got the same lady to cheer and motherfuck me in the same sentence.
Oh.
I hadn't been in New Origins for a while, and me and John Strange were running Irvin, and we
Yeah.
both lived there, so we were running as a babyface tag team. I hadn't been there in probably 7-8 months or longer. So I come back in because John's getting beat down.
Yeah.
As soon as I come in, the lady in the crowd goes, "Yay!" And I club John in the back, and she goes, "Yeah, you motherfucker!"
She wasn't expecting you to
No.
go heel on her.
No.
Love it.
Well, speaking of being a heel, can you tell them the story about you in Owensboro when you made the lady
okay.
who hates the heel there, like, love them?
All right, so I went down to wrestle for Big B Pro in Owensboro.
Yeah.
I'd never been down there before. And I had a couple of these jackwagon guys that wrestled down there and didn't know who I was. They were like, well, who's this guy? Blah, 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 blah.
Couple of jack
Yeah,
legs.
so this guy who was helping run the locker room was being a dick. He's like, well, how long have you been wrestling? I told him. He's like, well, if you've been wrestling that long, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I was like, yeah, I sure fucking will. So I get with Danny D. He was the baby.
Yeah.
I go find the sound guy. I said, look, this is what's going to happen, sound guy. I said, I'm coming out first. I'm a heel. So you're going to bring Roxo out next. He's a heel. You're going to bring out Danny D. He said, okay, no problem. So I go out. Now, Roxo is this up-and-coming young guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. He was their big up-and-coming heel, right?
Yeah.
So I come out and I do my heel spiel. There's some lady in the front row, I guess she hates Roxo's guts.
Yeah.
So after I do my spiel, Roxo comes out. He gets the big baby boom. And he just stops like a deer in the headlights. And the lady that hates him points at him and said, if you can beat the guy in the dress, I'll kiss you in the mouth, Roxo. So he was young. He didn't know what to do or how to
Yeah.
react. So he did the best he could to stay in this heel thing, but he just stopped dead. I go, what am I supposed to do? They're not supposed to be cheering for me.
Yeah.
When the next time I went back, it was a totally different story from Jack Wagon in the locker room.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Love it.
They finally got to figure out that you were telling the truth, that you have been wrestling for a long time.
Yes.
A couple of jack legs.
And that's what I tell all these young guys. I'll tell you too. When you go out there, you want them to be loving you or hating you. You don't want to come out and them sit on your hands and not give a damn
Exactly.
about who you are. Because if you do that, You're not going to get a push. You're not going to go anywhere. But if you go to these shows and people are cheering you or booing you, other promoters are going to see you. Like, that kid's got something that we can use, and they'll pull you onto their show. And then another guy will see you, and he'll pull you on your show, and you'll be working everywhere.
Exactly. And you don't want to just be someone that's caught like a deer in the headlights, like the guy did. Mm-hmm. You want to try and switch up. If the fans are cheering you, go with it. If the fans are booing you, even though you're a babyface, go with being a heel tactic that night, because that's how you get the fans back into it. Because if you just stop and you're like, "What are we doing here? They're booing me," and you just stand there and the fans suddenly turn on you. Guess what? They're not turning on you because they're resting your character. They're turning on you because they see that you're a dumb fuck that just stopped and said, "What are we doing here, guys?" Yep. Two of the guys that's inside the ring, that's like, "Oh, Lord, can this dumbass get back in character already?"
And for a second, that's what happened to Roxo, because when he came out and got that big baby pop, he didn't know what to do because that had never happened to him.
Yep.
He'd never been out healed before. So he was like, "Oh, shit, what am I supposed to do now? I'm supposed to be the bad guy."
He should have learned how to pivot, because at that moment, now there's someone that is the biggest heel. So now you become the babyface for that night. Because you can always go heel any other time.
He did manage to recover throughout the match and got back on track, but at first he was caught way off guard.
That's true. But there are guys that, unlike him, they never recover. Because they're so shook because they've never got the training to know when to adapt. Because wrestling is adaptability.
The same thing goes out for these guys that get in the back. So I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And they go out there, they start doing this and this and this and this, and the crowd's sitting there not giving a shit. So instead of changing what the match they're going to do, they just do their match. Yeah. Nobody gives a damn.
And that's also can go for the people that lay out a 5-star match. When the people ain't registering to that 5-star stuff that you're doing, you got to learn how to slow it down.
That's right.
Here's another story that's in the book. I'll tell a little bit of it. I'm not going to tell the story part, but I'll tell a little bit of it. So we're down at McKinney, the easiest town to get heat in the world in for Memphis-style wrestling. Like, you go out there and you fart on a baby face, and the crowd's going to come out of the bleachers and kill you, okay? So I'm out there, and I'm doing the match against the guy I'm working, and he's got a singlet on. I'm just choking him with a singlet, and these guys are crawling out of the bleachers trying to kill us. So I go out, and the next match, the whole house is on fire. So these other two guys had never been there before, never asked what kind of town it was, came out there, and they were warming up for a Ring of Honor tryout match. So the first guy goes out there, straight to the ring. Second guy goes in there, straight to the ring. We're in the back. You can't hear fucking nothing but just body of pumping in the ring.
Yeah.
Popping. I was like, what the hell's going on? The crowd was on fire 5 minutes ago. These dudes come back. Oh, man, that was a great match. You know, slapping hands and shit. They went over there and asked somebody in the locker room how it went. And they're like, well, the match was great. Nobody gave a shit about it, but the match was great.
Exactly. Because they didn't even try to make the crowd engage with it.
Yes.
Well, was that person Jimmy Walls by chance? Because that sounds like something he would say.
No, that person was Stevie P. And then
even better.
And it escalated from that. But if you want to know what happened,
then
you
got to get the book.
You got to read the book.
That was.
But that's true, because there have been guys that's like that'll go out there and wrestle, but the crowd's not going to react to it because you're not engaging the fans. What you're doing is you're popping each other. You're not trying to get that crowd behind you or hate your guts.
And another thing, if you're on a show and there's a bunch of matches on there, watch the matches before you. That way you don't go out there and do the same damn thing 7 or 8 other matches did. That's
one of my pet peeves, because I can't tell you the amount of shows that I've gone to where I see the damn suplex that's been done over and over again, a superplex. If a match is done it inside the first match and I see it inside the second match, I'm thinking to myself, did you guys not watch the match?
No, they don't. None of these fucking guys watch
They
the
need
match.
to.
They want to sit in the back and call spots that they saw on WWE. I'm going to do the Triple H. I'm going to do this or that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're wrestling me, I'm not going to know what that is because I don't watch wrestling on TV.
Exactly. Like, I will never understand wrestlers that try to pop each other instead of popping the crowd, because the crowd is who's going to tell you.
That's who's there to interact. That's why you got to go out there and interact with those people. They want to be interacted with. And if you just give them a little bit of attention, you're going to be over one way or the other, good or bad.
Especially if you're the villain. If you're villain, I don't want you to go out there and just heal up once, and then for the rest of the match, you're wrestling a guy and you're not even gauging the crowd, because when you're beating up the babyface, you should be, every now and then you turn to the crowd and you be telling them to shut their mouths and everything.
Of wrestling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I beat them down. I'll stop in the middle. I'll go over to the crowd and say, "You cheering for this piece of crap?"
Right.
That's
Exactly.
number one.
That's 90% of our moveset.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my moveset.
That's the reason why it's called less is more, because the fans will react to anything you do. Like, you could stall for the first half of the match, and the fans are going to eat it up because you're doing the less is more style.
Yes.
I dare anyone to try to tell me that less is more doesn't get the crowd hyped, because being there at UCW or at AMW, I've seen the less is more strategy continue to make the crowd get up off their feet.
So what I was talking about, not doing the same thing that everybody else does.
Yeah.
I was on the show at the arena, and I think I was match 11 or 12. Okay. So I'm watching all these matches, and it's high spot match, one right after the other, all a bunch of high spot matches. So the guy I'm working, he's like, "Oh, let's do this and this and this and this." I said, "No." I said, "We're going to go out there and we're going to have a fight." So we went out there and we beat the shit out of each other and gave them a different match that they hadn't seen 10 times already, and the crowd was into it.
That's right.
First off, I know you were already mad because you were match 11 or
Yes.
12.
Yes, I was.
And it was, yeah, so.
And we were there all day long.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
It
man.
was a long
Yeah,
day.
been on those. So, let's get back to the book for a minute. Locker Room Stories is the title.
Locker Room Stories, Tales from Kentucky Wrestling, 100 Wild Tales. Yes, sir.
Heck yeah.
Again, you'll have it at the tables when everybody sees you.
Yes.
Will
Yeah,
you have any tomorrow night? Are they
No.
ready? Okay.
No, not yet.
All right. So the
Not
next
yet.
time you see JR out somewhere.
They're
That's
they're
right.
almost ready. I'm still doing some editing and fine tuning. They'll be here soon. Don't worry.
All right. So when you go buy the book, you all. I promise you, just from what the stories that may have come from me, may not have. Who knows?
I do
But
have
also,
stories from Cody in
yeah.
there.
But I the little bit that he's even left, just so you all know, he's not just on here not letting you all know any stories. He's not even letting any of us.
That's right.
Here.
Nobody knows what the stories are.
So
That's
go
right.
out, buy the book. Just as soon as the Kentucky Wrestling Federation, go out, YouTube page, subscribe, keep an eye on YouTube, keep an eye on Facebook. Just as soon as we start I promise you all, just as soon as they start announcing who is going to be on that first show, you are going to be ready to line up for tickets.
Yes, you
Yes,
will.
you
It'll
will.
be a fantastic
That's right.
show. Fantastic show. I've got a story from Colt Steele in the book. For those of you who don't know who Colt Steele is, he was a
Yep.
driller, fantastic wrestler.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I got a story from Colt. Dale Bass has put in stories. Terry England, Jimmy Walls, Shad Stewart. He's a lesser-known guy, but he wrestled for several years here in Central Kentucky. I got a couple of stories from Shad. I've got a story from Kenneth Smith, the referee. Just all kinds of good stories from people. Maria James, like 20 contributors for this book.
Heck yeah. And Maria is great. She's doing her thing in OVW and WOW, Women of Wrestling. Also, her daughter may be hitting the big right now. And
Yeah.
John Gilbert said, F. Ian Mosley, he don't work at APW no more. Ever since I won APW tag team titles, he hasn't been there. Well, damn.
Oh, damn, yeah. Oh, yeah, wow.
Because, remember, Ian Mosley was his manager. So I guess Ian Mosley ditched him and went to somewhere else. Damn. That's
that
tough.
way.
That's, independent wrestling for you.
Yep. And now, on the screen, this was from May of 2019.
Has it
This is
really
Scott
been that?
Diamond's
Yeah.
other favorite story that I like to talk about. Because they wasn't going to wait for a match to happen at KEPW. They went right to where Cody Matthews was,
I do have.
and
a
we
few-
saw what happened.
My house.
I do have a few
Yep.
stories from Scott Diamond in the book as well.
Nice.
Now-
Hey, his stories will probably go 4 hours and 13 minutes.
Oh, I've edited them down. So for a little bonus, if anybody wants to know who the camera person for this was Jennifer Lynn. She
Nice.
was the camera
Oh,
operator
wow.
for this.
I didn't even know that.
Nice. She did a hell of a job.
Yep.
She kept everything where it should be. It shows you and Scott Diamond first. Y'all conversing inside the car. Y'all waiting for Cody Matthews
Yeah,
to
we're
show.
staking his house out.
So this is where JR learned to stalk. I'm gonna, since you were talking about
She
Jen
gave me-
earlier,
Yeah.
taught you everything you knew,
Taught
right?
me everything.
Yeah.
That's right.
No way. I don't think I would take it to that level. I didn't want them to get you, Cody,
I appreciate it.
but I had to.
Yeah,
what I
I
had to
know.
do.
I get it. Money talks. I get it.
Exactly. And he said that Ian Mosley was not his manager.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Correction.
But Big John
correction on
Gilbert-
our part.
Big John Gilbert is the best big man in Texas, like he was in Kentucky. But I think that J.R. Rock is the greatest big man in Kentucky.
Thank you.
And he just threw Cody Matthews up onto the car. And there's Scott. He was ready for it. Oh, right onto the car. And look at that. Scott just has to shove Cody Matthews while he's down. This happened back in 2019 because it says so right at the beginning.
That's when it was.
May of 2019. And watch this. He's not even a referee, but he did the 3 count.
That's when it was.
Took the towel right from you.
Okay, speaking of that, taking that title, see, I pinned him right there. I still got that belt at home. Have not lost it. We'll just say I'm still the champion of that, too.
Yep. That mean that you're...
You just tooting your own horn over here.
Yeah.
Who knows the tune better than me?
That's right.
He's got 2 long title reigns right now. Until someone... Well, actually, they can't now because
That
he's
company
retired.
is out of business as well, but
Exactly. But
that's
At the same time.
That's the best way to keep those title rings. You get
Exactly.
Yeah, just kill the
Goes
company.
down.
exactly. And EWA was born from KPW,
That's correct.
Yes.
which is great because Bobby Doss was there. He awarded the Heritage Championship, which has now had 3 champions now. We've had Gaston Leroux as Heritage Champion, Ethan Hire as champion, and currently Chris Crow. Hell of a legacy for that title. And it holds true for KPW.
Speaking of killing companies, there's a story in the book about a phantom match that never got to happen
Yeah.
that killed 2 companies, closed them down, went out of business.
See, you all have to go buy this book.
Exactly, because it's got a ton of stories that you've never heard.
And just throwing it out there, originally JR's book was 278 pages, and he started talking to Scott Diamond. Now it's 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott Diamond has a lot of stories that would fill that book up all the way to 600 if he could.
But you all, I promise you, the little bit JR has let me in on it, and who he told me he got stories from, y'all are going to want to run out and get it as soon as you can.
I'll tell you a story about that referee right there in the ring. This one's not in the book, so I'll let you have it. So this was kind of the same incident that happened this past summer with the referee.
Yeah.
So the match was over, and I'm doing my deal. The referee's just standing there counting away, and I'm like, "Get out of the ring, referee! Get out of the ring!" He don't want to listen. So I was like, "I'm gonna start counting to 3. If you don't get out of this ring, I'm gonna take the strap and I'm gonna light your world up." So I counted. He's still sitting there. I said 1. He's still going. I said 2. He's still going. Count of 3. I just started lighting him up. He got out of the ring real fast then.
He deserved it.
That's that Derek kid, right?
Yes, and we get to
Yeah.
the back. He's talking to the booker. He's like, "Oh, such blah, 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 got beat up." And he said, "Well, what happened?" And he told him. He said, "Well, next time do what you told, dumbass."
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about these furs for a minute.
That is a
And
fur kilt I used to
Yeah.
wrestle in. I handmade that and the leather gauntlets that I have on in that match.
Nice. That's awesome. That means that you made your own gear.
Yes, I had the pair of boots that I did too. I blew the bottom out of those at a match in Indiana. But that is a buffalo, moose, rabbit, and skunk fur.
Heck
on
yeah.
that kilt.
Leave it to you to be the oddball.
See, I got the skunk in the back of
Yeah,
the butt
see.
flap.
I mean, that's a hell of a look, too. And that referee should definitely listen when you tell him to get out. He got to feel what the strap feels like.
Now that guy doing ring security right there is Dominic McVeigh that used to wrestle at TCW.
Oh, yes. Now I remember him.
Yeah.
Hell, he hardly looks like he did.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
there he is. Speaking of Iron Man.
That's right. This is a Cody Matthews versus J.R. Rock match right here. Whew. Just think Dominic McVeigh got to be a security for this match.
This is probably a snoozer.
I guarantee it.
It's a tall task, though, because if J.R. Rock's got that strap, one of them knows if he might just unleash that strap on
Pretty
him.
sure that was a hug and kiss from Luna right there in the corner. Just throwing that out there.
I see Anthony.
And the fans love
Crowd.
Cody Matthews. They're all going excited for Cody Matthews to Iron Man.
Because they know I'm going to get my butt kicked.
Meanwhile, you got J.R. Rock inside there saying, come on, come on. Oh,
I didn't wrestle in that fur kilt a whole lot because it got really hot
I was going to
Yeah.
ask you about
and
that.
it shed really bad.
oh, man. And then you end up switching back to a regular kilt.
Yeah, I had 6 or 7 different kilts over the years.
That's a smart idea, though, to switch to the kilt. Because when they call you Gargamel, it's affection. Because they know that you're a heel, but they just can't help themselves but to chant Gargamel at you.
That's probably what they're chanting right now.
Yep.
Don't call me that.
And it was smart of him to switch to the kilt instead of the tights. That's a unique to him.
Now, that wasn't my idea to do that.
It wasn't?
That was the brainchild of Scotty Ray and Bobby Blade.
They were smart.
If you want to know the rest of that story, you got to buy the book.
Exactly.
Oh, we could tell stories about this match.
Oh,
But let's save those for the next book. But
That's
yeah.
right.
There-
Save
I
for
just-
wrestling
I
for the
just
book,
recalled
too.
what this match was.
there's one story about him in the book
Okay.
when I wrestled him for the heavyweight title.
So this story from you.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's
I know the
Icon Lee's
story.
mask.
Just so you all know, that story alone is worth buying the book.
I can tell you another story about him. When I beat him for the title, I was doing a babyface run down there. So all the fans like to call him Trash Bag because of those pleather pants. So I get in there on the mic one night, and I'm like, hey, somebody open the lid of that trash can so this guy can go home. I had the crowd chanting, like, I say trash, you say can. So they were going good.
Masterful work on the mic. That just shows if you can connect with the people, you can get any chant started.
Yes. Hey, another guy that wrestled there named Anthony New,
Yeah.
cousin Jed's son-in-law.
Nice.
So when I was wrestling him down there, I was ribbing him. Okay, I pulled the rib on him. We were in the locker room one night, and he had on black spandex bottom and a black spandex top. And I was like, man, I ain't seen nothing in the case tighter than that except a sausage. So I started calling him Black Sausage as a rib. He comes out there one night, and I get on the mic, and I start getting the people calling him Black Sausage. He absolutely hated that, but it was so funny. I couldn't help but ribbing him.
That's the way to do it. One of my favorite chants I've ever done was I got Cash Jackson when he had dreads to get his head checked. I said, check his dreadlocks. Cash like, huh? Check my dreadlocks. Tilts his head down for the referee to start running his hands through the dreadlocks.
Love it.
That was great.
Now, Cody can vouch for this. I'm a notorious ribber in the locker room.
Yeah.
Nice.
There are tons of rib stories in the book.
You're a
There
Oh.
are.
pot stirrer.
very
pot
nice.
And he's a
stirrer.
pot stirrer.
No.
You guys are going to have to definitely
Wait
get
a
the
minute,
book
wait a
because
minute.
there's a lot of juicy stories inside there.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I've been around Cody and he's just like stirring the pot because he knows he's getting ready to do something.
What? We have no idea what y'all are talking about. This is all hearsay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pure speculation. Is there any stories on the nippler?
No, but I could probably do a story about the nippler. I got a couple I could put in a book, but I don't have any in this book about him.
That's true. I mean, I do remember him in 2023 in that Battle Royal. He wanted that money too, but he ended up losing. But he was scaring all the boys that were inside that ring. He had the
He was
plunger and
He
everything.
was a job guy that was the star of the Battle Royal.
But that's a hell of a Battle Royal too. Think about it. You had lots of stars in that match, besides the few that weren't stars. But they all did their thing. But when the nippler came out, a lot of them took off running. I don't know why though.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
I thought they made a new friend because Nippler was taking affection to them and chasing them.
You got two choices. You got a guy with a plunger in one hand and a glove with a bunch of nipples on the other hand. So you got to pick your poison when it comes to
right.
That.
I'm over here in this chair getting uncomfortable.
But that's the fun about wrestling. You can have a guy like J.R. Rock, or you can have a guy like Nippler with his plunger and his glove with nipples. Or you can have a guy like Cody Matthews, the Iron Man. Or even a guy like a undead mortician type deal. Wrestling has it all.
That's for sure.
Including the storylines.
That's right.
I have to say the storylines are way better than movies, TV, you name it. You pick any storyline from wrestling, and I guarantee that there was not one person that didn't feel that story. Like recently, I felt the storyline that had Ben Sherman having to put it all on the line because they were taking over EWA. They had gotten rid of Marty Clay, Scott Diamond. Anyone that got inside their way had to go. Finally, they picked their poison. It was even higher versus Gaston Rue. If Gaston Rue lost in this Iron Man match, and also that the title, the Heritage Championship, went to even higher, then, and only then, the Ben Sherman brand would have to have 3 of their guys take on 3 of EWA's guys. And if the EWA's guys won, the Ben Sherman brand was no longer a commissioner. Well, they kicked out Gaston Rue because he lost at the Iron Man match. It's a hell of a match, too. 30 minutes of pure, non-stop beat-down action. And what happened? Ben Sherman brand, they turned on him. Kicked his ass, sent him home. At the end of the match, even higher tried to offer a handshake. Gaston Rue snugged him. Walks right out on him. Man. But then to cap off that storyline was the next month. That's when we got Marty Clay returned. Finally, after being let go back in January. Then you have Berto, who had been wronged by Ben Sherman brand because they had him as a co-administrator himself. And then you had Omega D. All 3 men had to take on Alex Angel. Bmoney. Bmoney's a big dude too. He's about 7 foot tall. Looks like he might be 7'6". Big guy. And then you had Clayton Cannon. They all lost. And finally, we got the biggest story ending of all. Ben Sherman got his ass beat by Scott Diamond, Omega D, Marty Clay, even higher. That, to me, is what wrestling's all about. That was a great storyline because the fans were invested for years. They still talk about it right now. Although, I will say at the last EWA show, Bobby Blade and Ben Sherman may have or may not have made a deal that involved the displacement of one Commissioner Berto. You'll have to tune into the show tomorrow night to find out if we learn any more about that. I'll tell you, wrestling is the only place with the greatest storylines ever. You've been a part of that.
I have.
Especially that strap match. I'm telling you, y'all did not see that. Y'all got to go on to YouTube. Or you got to go on to Facebook right now. Type in J.R. Rock versus Stan Sarah strap match. You're going to see a storyline that started out with J.R. Rock coming out there because he was being congratulated for his retirement. And leading to a man like Stan Sarah wanting to come out there and be like, you don't owe these people nothing. Choose a side. Mine or these people's. And J.R. Rock finally going, well, if I'm going to choose a side, I'm going to choose these people right here in Caverna. And that led to Jimmy Walls coming in there and saying, you know what? You come out here and you run your mouth. Why don't you put on that USWF championship on the line against J.R. Rock in a strap match? And then you're going to see Stan Sarah cower. Saying, no. Stalling for quite a while because I think they saw just how ready you were to beat his ass with that strap.
That's right.
I think that when you got that strap on and he had the strap on, I saw fear inside of his eyes. Like he got out that ring and you kick that ring rope and then you just start doing that to him. Oh, I think the people need to check out that match firsthand because that's a hell of a match.
Nothing like two guys with a strap on. They love it.
That's that's right. Zinger.
So,
And where can they find that match to watch it?
it is on the Kentucky Wrestling Federation YouTube page.
That's
All
right.
So go on there and like and subscribe.
Exactly, because you're going to see a lot of things being posted there.
That's correct. We'll
So
have
get ready.
lots of upcoming videos. Now, not only are me and Cody, a couple of windbags telling all these stories, Jenny Lynn has been around the wrestling business for a long
That is
time
correct.
too, and I have stories from her in the
Nice.
book.
We can't wait to read them. I'm going to have to get me a personal copy whenever they're available.
Baby, I've known Jen a long time. I'm going to have to burn all those copies.
That's
'Cause,
right. All kinds of dirt on you, buddy.
We're going to have to read them, though, Cody. You can't burn them because
oh, I know. No,
you'll have to go through him.
absolutely not.
That one time you ate like 2 pounds of chicken.
Oh, yeah, that's totally true.
It is true.
Charles Colton showed up. He said, JR and I also had a legendary one-night USWF tag team title reign in Garrett County last summer.
That is true.
Hell
I was
yeah.
doing the tag
Yeah.
team deal.
Yeah, you're welcome that I got hurt, buddy. 'Cause
And,
you-
I was paired with several partners that summer, and Charles was one. We had a couple of good matches as tag team partners together.
Speaking
Heck
of him,
yeah.
he's been a very good supporter of KWF, sharing our information,
Yes.
getting our name out there. So we do want to say thank you for that. We do
Yes.
appreciate
We
it.
look forward to having you on board when we
That's the way
start,
to do it.
Charles.
oh, absolutely. He's always been super respectful and
Oh.
love to give him hell, but love you, buddy.
Just saw another thing from Terry England. He said, remember that only one promoter has won continuously with no breaks, and I hope KWF does the same. Wolfman Perdale, man, was a hell of a manager, too.
And that's Terry putting himself over.
Yeah, of course.
But I still say that Jim Chadwick is the marquee
Oh,
for
well,
managers
oh,
here
absolutely.
in Kentucky.
I agree.
If you're looking to get into this business as a manager, go watch Jim Chadwick tapes. There's
Yes.
plenty of them out there. I just showed my age there. Go watch Jim Chadwick on YouTube.
Yeah.
But if you do still have some that'll play DVDs and VHS, I got you too. Still got the collection.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that he made an ECW guy look bad because he wasn't getting the script sent to him. It's all from here. And the guy asked him, who writes your material? And all Jim said was, no one, baby.
That's
It all
right.
comes from right here. That right there shows you just how great Gentleman was because he started out as a commentator. Then he told him one night at MWA, he said, you know what? I'm going to be a manager. And the rest was history. Yeah. Showed up and credited Gentleman Chip, his entire faction with his style.
Now, a lot of the stuff that you see on the indies is just freelance.
Yep.
A lot of places don't write, here's your script, here's your script. Some of the people do, but like when I was coming up, when Cody was coming up, it's like,
Yeah.
you need to do a promo, cut me a promo.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let
You
it
got
go.
here's your one bullet point.
Yep.
And
Here's
then
your bullet point. You do the rest.
And that's the way it should be because as long as you got that bullet point, you already know what your promo should start with and how it should end.
That's right. And just a word of advice for any young guys in a promo, make sure you tell them who you are, who you're wrestling, where you're wrestling, and when and what time.
that's right.
Okay?
Exactly.
That's how
Always.
you're going to get asses in the seats.
Who, what, where, when, why, how.
Exactly. And if you're someone that's just starting inside business, share the damn flyers.
Now,
Right.
yeah.
I keep seeing people that don't do that.
Share everything.
Speaking of flyers,
Everything.
we're going to have all our flyers on Facebook, all the Facebook pages. Plus, I've got a laser printer. We're going to be postering the town.
Nice.
We're going to do 8.5 by 14 colored cardstock thickness flyers for all the shows.
That is a great idea. Because not only are you doing that, but you're also sharing on to the Facebook. So you're
Yes.
killing two birds with one stone.
And we would love it if somebody like the podcast or somebody would want to sponsor us to help us pay for the cardstock because that stuff's not cheap.
Yeah.
Exactly. And people need to be ready for that because that's coming in the fall of 2025. By then, I hope that Bmoney has already gotten inside gym, hit the weights hard, and he's ready to get inside the ring and try to unleash his new finishing move.
That's right.
Because back then he would tear people's arms out of his socket as his finishing move.
Story I got on video.
Exactly. And that could be a finisher inside of wrestling, too. All it takes is an arm bar or an arm breaker. I don't see too many do that.
And get your dad and uncle out of retirement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I've heard Bear and
Hey.
Donnie several times said that they want to come out of retirement. But every time they do, they somehow backtrack on it.
Yeah, somehow.
Hold on. We're talking about the same guy that eats fudge bars all day long, sits on the couch, plays his video games, and goes to sleep at 8 o'clock.
Who, Bear?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm going to tell you.
We're talking about this guy. That is not Bear. That is not Bear no more.
That's Daniel.
That's Daniel.
I'm going to tell you right now. If you can get
He still
solid,
fucked me up though.
if you can get
Yeah, that's
solid
true.
steel out of retirement, you will see Iron Madness out of retirement for a match at
That's right.
KWF, the Kentucky Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
Of solid steel against Iron Madness.
For one night only.
One
Yeah.
night
That's
only.
right.
You can make that happen.
I'll get the doctor's release for that one.
And I believe that it can work, too, Bmoney, because less is more. They don't have to work a style where they have to take too many bumps.
Well, you don't have to work because all our old asses ain't doing nothing.
But who would be taking the pin?
Most likely me.
No hesitation there. But that'd be a hell of a match. And also it falls to less is more ideal. Because y'all are all old, but y'all don't have to take bumps.
I prefer aged, like a fine wine
hold
or a
the
good
phone
whiskey.
right there, okay? Being old doesn't mean a damn thing.
That's right.
That's true.
'Cause I go to these shows and I'm out there for sometimes 40 minutes
Yep.
with
That's
my
right.
old ass, and all these young guys are out there
Yep.
sucking wind and can't breathe.
Oh, that's
And
right.
I'm sitting in the back like, what's wrong? Where's your cardio, young boy?
You know why?
I don't wanna
Because
hear that.
I don't think that they even try to train their cardio. I think that what they do is that they get out there, they go to the gym, they lift the weights, but they forget to try and work on their cardio. So whenever they're out there for a 30-minute match, they're already gassed within the 10 minutes.
Well, come on down. We'll go to the Planet Fitness. We'll get on the elliptical. We'll set it on hard. We'll ride that motherfucker for an hour, and we'll get your cardio up.
That's right. And also, whenever you're not at a gym, walk a couple miles.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. And trust me, that's some good damn exercise to be getting to walk around the town. Charles Colton said, "What the hell is cardio?" He said, "Not old, just experienced."
That's right. I'll tell you a good story about less is more. I was working Stan Sierra. We were at a horse track in Owsley County. Shitty, rainy weather.
Yeah.
There probably wasn't maybe 10 people in the crowd. So I don't know if they didn't promote it or just the weather was bad. So we get out there, lock in the bear hug. About 5 minutes, do a couple of this and that, lock in the bear hug.
Yep.
That's all we did the whole match was work a bear hug till we did the finish.
That's what you call less is more.
The 10
The crowd was hot.
The 10 people that were there were hot,
Yeah.
and we didn't have to do nothing.
It was still got the fans excited.
It was what you call one of those old school Bruno San Martino style matches.
That's right. And that was a great match to work.
Someone's asking about more.
Luke Aaron said,
What are they asking about?
"What do you think about new AMW heavyweight champion Marty Clay?"
Oh, Marty Clay, tremendous guy. On the last show at EAW, I called Marty out. I gave him the ring. I gave him my boots and said, "Carry on the business, young man. I think you're doing a tremendous job." That's how much I think of Marty Clay.
That's right.
Same here. Marty has one of Marty's first matches. He's always been respectful. Comes up, speaks to you, shakes your hand. You can tell he comes from good stock. He's out there working hard. And anybody and everybody that asks me, I put that kid over constantly, all the time. Book Marty Clay.
Yes.
Book Omega.
Yes.
Yes.
These guys are out there just killing it, man. And Marty's just one. But like I said, Marty walks into a locker room and he shakes everyone's hand. He talks to everyone. You know he's got it. Jen, anything on Marty?
No, we are very big supporters of Marty Clay. When we were trying to, I was telling him, I was like, when you do your boots, I was like, think of a kid that means a lot to you. And Marty had his first match with JR, so it was it was like kind of a turning point to where Marty's up and coming and JR's leaving. So it was something special. We do think a lot of Marty. We're hoping he'll come work with us
Heck yeah.
at KWF. So we're hoping to get some big names and Omega. Just like
Nice.
we want Omega there as well. So we're hoping to have some good talent to reach
That's right.
those goals. Like he said, we want a legacy. We want to be known for our wrestling and what we do. So we'll see what
I think that can happen. And also, Marty Clay is Marty Two Belts. He holds our championship, and he holds the AMW
That's right.
Appalachian Mountain Wrestling Heavyweight Championship,
Now,
which he rightfully won.
There's also a story about Marty's first match with me in the book. So
You got to read it.
You gotta
See, you
buy
got to
it.
read the book, y'all. You got
You got to read it. We can't emphasize much. You got to go
Buy
out
the
there
book.
and get that book when JR Rock has them available. I know for one thing, I'm going to get one.
Backtracking a little bit on old, just speaking of old, this was 10 years ago, and Jimmy Lamb looks old there. Like, has he ever looked young?
No,
Not really.
we love you, Jimmy. If you're
Yeah, we
watching,
do. Yeah.
That's right. We also watched the match where you were fighting Bubba Lamb.
yeah, I saw that earlier.
That's
dancing scene.
Bubba, Jimmy, but the referee here that JR was speaking of, that's also one of Jimmy's 47 kids.
Luke said, finally, he beat Stan. I mean, you're right. I can't fault Stan. He had a hell of a run. He did whatever it took to keep the title, but it just caught up with him.
He probably just got lucky.
I mean, he did hit a roll up.
There you go. Now,
Stan said that while the rope was in, he was pulling the tights.
so
I don't know.
See, Jimmy's talking on the mic right here. We don't have no idea what he's saying.
Neither does anybody else in that
We're
building.
just nodding and agreeing, saying, okay.
Yeah.
That referee is just walking up towards you. He's like,
He said, what are you saying? Nobody understands what you're saying.
Yeah. But we all just nodded.
give me that damn mic. I saw the referee's hand. He said his hands out there like, give me that damn mic. Stop talking.
Yeah, we were just talking about young guys like Marty, like Omega that are. I'll tell you another group is the guys down there at Gen Next. Man, they're turning out some super talent down there. So
Yeah, they are.
Again, it's another company to look out for that hopefully we'll get to work with. Larry, Max, man, that Gen Next Pro Wrestling is. I got sent some videos the other day, and
Well, guys,
I have talked to Larry. He said he would be willing to come to KWF and wrestle for us.
nice. That's a big get.
yeah,
Guys, can you believe we've been on here 2 hours?
yeah,
Doesn't
Close.
seem like it.
nuts.
Exactly. 1 hour and 57 minutes it's been
Sir.
of us just emphasizing that you need to come get the book when they're available.
Yep. As soon as they're available, I'll start having them at shows. I'll make an announcement. I'll come back on the podcast and bring a copy of hardback and paperback, plug KWF some more.
Heck yeah.
When we get the belts in, I'll bring the belts in, show the belts off on the pod so everybody can see what we got coming up.
That's right. That's something that y'all can look forward to. And also the book, whenever it's available, like you said, he'll let y'all all know. Y'all got to get the book because it's got stories
Tons and tons
and
of
probably
stories.
some dirt on this man, too.
Yeah, stories about
there's a
him.
lot.
Yes, all
guarantee
kinds of
it.
stories.
But also probably 500 pages of just Scott's Diamond tooting his horn and telling his own stories. Because him and Barbara Blade, they still hold the record for the longest podcast. Just them
I
sitting
have
across from each other.
No doubt about that.
No doubt. So
Well-
there's also some stories on you, I think, sir.
Oh, no. I mean, there's probably some stories on Andy, too. You never
I'll
know.
guarantee it.
All kinds of stories in this.
Y'all got to go out there get the book so that y'all can read what's all been said.
That's right.
Anybody?
Buy the book. Buy the book. Also, just everybody go to the KWF YouTube page, subscribe, like.
Yep,
And
go to-
follow the Facebook page.
Follow the Facebook, like the Facebook. If you want to come wrestle for us, reach out. We have an email address, kwfbooking@gmail.com, or message my Facebook page, message Jen's Facebook page, or message the KWF page. We'll respond back sooner or later.
Guys, who wants to say their goodbyes first?
I'll say it. Everybody, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for having us.
You're
Glad I
welcome.
got to see you, young man. And again, can't say it enough. Like, subscribe the KWF
Yes.
YouTube page, the Facebook page, and thank you guys again.
Yes, thank you. We've got 19 subscribers on the YouTube now. Come on, I know you people can get us up.
That's
to
right.
A couple hundred. I know Andy and all them have tons of likes and subscribes. Get us up there too.
That's right.
Thank you for having us as always. Anytime you want us back in studio, just let us know. We're more than happy.
I
to
sure
come.
will. You want to say goodbyes?
Yeah, so just want to say thank you for having us, letting us get on here and promote our new company, being a partner with us to help talk about us and get our name out there. We do appreciate it. We look forward to working with anyone. Like he said, if anyone wants to work for us, anyone that wants to partner with us, sponsor anything, reach out to us. We'll be glad to help in any way that we can.
That's right. Guys, Bmoney, you want to say yours?
Oh yeah. I just want to get on here and say that here on the Nice Guy Andy podcast, we're absolutely blessed to have guests like you guys to come in, just absolute legends. And I'm just really excited to see what this new promotion brings to Kentucky. And you guys sound very promising, and I know it's coming straight from the heart. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's right.
I'm coming for that heavyweight title, too.
Come on down.
Oh,
Good
man.
to have you.
We just might see Bmoney become a heavyweight champion.
just do it.
We'll never know. But, guys, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Cody Matthews,
Thank you for
J.R. Rock,
Thank
Jennifer Lynn.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all for coming in.
Luna.
Luna, pleasure. Bmoney, always a pleasure, brother. Definitely got to do some more straight shooting with Bmoney.
Here's the future of the Rock
Yes,
family.
right here. This
Little
will be
Luna
the
Rock.
next.
Heck yeah.
The next Rock Wrestling in the ring.
That's right.
Probably future ladies heavyweight champions.
That's
somewhere.
right. And if the men are weak, she just might take their titles too.
She might.
That's right.
Never know.
Guaranteed.
Because remember, China was the first ever female intercontinental champion.
Hey, she's gonna be just as tough in this ring as I am. And
Hell
I
yeah.
was.
She's tough.
That's what it's all about. Guys, thank y'all for joining us tonight. And remember, go out there and purchase the book when it's available. Go out there and follow the KWF Facebook. Go out there and subscribe to KWF as well. And also like, subscribe, and share their YouTube. Let everyone know where they can find KWF, Kentucky Wrestling Federation, because I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss tonight. You don't want to miss this fall when KWF actually does come to life. And guys, I just want to say, I had fun.
You ain't getting none.
You damn Skippy.
Nice
Yeet,
Guy
yeet.
Andy podcast.
That ain't what your mama said.